Right now, it's time to enjoy the little things.
Time to evaluate what really matters.
It's time for your next adventure.
With more than 300 days of sunshine and a daily rush hour of 20 minutes, or less, Townsville is the perfect place to live, work and play. From the reef and its tropical islands, to the lush rainforests and endless natural beauty only a stone's throw away, our city is all about easy living with big city benefits.
But we are more than just picturesque beaches and perfect weather. Townsville is Australia's largest garrison city, the events and cultural capital of Northern Australia, and home to a bustling global port. With world-class expertise in health, education and research, Townsville is vital in creating jobs, attracting investment and boosting the region's economy. What you'll find on your journey within our mountains, our beaches and our community is that you're welcome here. But don't take our word for it. Come and experience it for yourself. This is Townsville.
Good morning and welcome to Jubilee Bowls Club in somewhat of a sunny morning in Townsville for round 9, the final qualifying round for the Dunn Cup 2024. We go. Okay, good morning all. Welcome to Jubilee Bowls Club in sunny Townsville for the running 9th round of the 2024 Dunn Cup. This round this morning will determine who goes through to the final this afternoon. And we'd like to acknowledge and thank our sponsors for helping us out this weekend in being able to run the Dunn Cup. Jubilee Bowls Club, who have done a power of work and continuing to do so to make sure that everything is up to scratch and nobody's left wanting for anything. NQDMBA, North Queensland District Men's Bowls Association, running the event. Townsville City Council, who have been huge supporters of this event this weekend. Multicom Communications, major sponsors of Jubilee Bowls Club. JCell, Electrical and Instrumentation. Glen Carroll Painting. TK Power and Air, and naming rights sponsors for the Dunn Cup, Gallivanta Travel. We're looking forward to a cracking match this morning, what we refer to as the Battle of the Bridge, between Air and Home Hill. For Air, we have Maurice Power playing skip, Tony Bull, playing third, Colin Essex playing second, and Sam Caldabiano leading off for them. For Home Hill, we have Wayne Newton skipping, Trevor Elton playing 3, Mick McCloskey playing second, and Alex Bojack leading off for Home Hill. We're very pleased to have this match being shown this morning. Home Hill is a relatively new club coming back into the association. We've only just re-affiliated them into Bowls Queensland and the North District Men's Bowling Association. And Home Hill was the birth of the Dunn Cup 82 years ago. This event started in Home Hill between 5 clubs and has developed into what we now regard as our premier event in the district, with virtually all clubs, every club in the district participating in the event. So we've just started underway. Air won the toss this morning, and Sam has dropped his bowl a metre and a half short. Alex Bojack with his first bowl. And for those not familiar with this area, the reason we call it the Battle of the Bridge, these two clubs straddle the Burdican River, divided by a bridge in the cane fields, Air to the north and Home Hill just to the south. They're almost a twin. Sorry about that. I just had to respond to a question coming from outside the tent. So Alex has got a reasonable bowl there. Again, as we've seen with every game so far, it will take these players an end or two to adjust to the conditions on this rink. Neither of these teams have played on this rink this weekend. Another nice bowl there from Alex Bojack. So we now have Colin Essex with his first bowl as a second. And just ran through a little bit. Mick McCloskey is now up for Home Hill, playing his first bowl. And we'd like to welcome everybody watching us on live stream this morning. It's been a pleasure being with you for the last 4 days. And for the local bowling fraternity, this morning we have Bowls Queensland President Brian Marshall and Finance Director Graham Lewis conducting an open forum for our bowling community. Anybody and everybody that has a question or a query are more than welcome to come along. Nothing is off limits, and they are going to be more than happy to answer any questions or queries you may have. So don't be frightened to drop into Jubilee Bowls Club. I'll get that underway about 9 o'clock this morning, about another 15-20 minutes. And they're looking forward to seeing some of our bowling fraternity. And joining me this morning is our co-commentator Glenn Atfield, commonly known as Muddy. Good morning, Muddy. How are you this morning?
Yeah, good, Ron. You?
Yes, looking forward to
Mate,
another big day today.
Yes, it's as we discussed last night and even early this morning when we were in our little office down the back. Normally this time on a Sunday we know at least one section who's in the final. Today we haven't got a clue.
That's correct. We have...
And not that we're stupid, it's just that the two sections are that close. There's 3-4 teams in each section that, depending on results, could all be playing again this afternoon.
Yes,
so
we're potentially looking at possibly having to go to countbacks too.
Yeah, in some of the sections, yeah, that's correct. So
basically eight teams playing for two positions.
Two spots, that's correct. And it's almost 4 on 4. 4 in section 1 and 4 in section 2.
That's right.
As we said, a few results do have to go a couple of clubs' ways, but as we know, Dunn Cup, anything can happen.
And the Gremlin was brought in this morning, is sitting just behind us and is looking forward to creating his normal havoc.
He certainly is. So, yeah, if anyone's got any question who looks like being in the final at this stage, we can't tell you. We haven't got a clue. So,
whereas as informed as the viewers are at the moment.
That's correct.
Rob Jeffries, good morning. How's the Gold City Bowls Club going? Well, sadly this year Gold City has not put in an appearance at the Dunn Cup. First time in quite a few years. They have a little bit of trouble getting some of their players, or have had trouble getting some of their players available, so they did not nominate for the competition this year. Bryce Reithmuller. Good morning, Bryce.
And on my screen over here, James Johnson. Good morning, fellas. G'day, mate. How are you? I hope you've, if you've been watching for the last 3 days, or for anyone that has, I hope you have enjoyed our coverage. We've tried our best, so we'll endeavour to do the same today.
Right.
Ron, you would have obviously maybe already told the viewers 2 of our Burdican teams here.
Yes, I've explained the Battle of the Bridge and why we call it the Battle of the Bridge.
One on one side and one on the other. So
that's right.
And Home Hill coming back into
our fold,
our district after a few years absent. Unfortunately, one of those clubs that succumb to finances,
finance pressures.
Whatever the case may be.
But they're up and running again now, and
Murray just a bit too tight there. I'll find out whose bowls whose in a minute.
And again, we must commend Jubilee Bowls Club for the effort they've put in this morning. I was talking to their chairman when I first arrived this morning, who's looking very tired. He's spent a lot of hours here this weekend, and as we ourselves know, because we had meetings with the Jubilee Bowls Club very early in the piece, once they managed to win it last year, and their theory all the way through was that they wanted to showcase this event and make it the best possible event that it could be for the district, for the bowls, and specifically for the Dunn Cup. It is our most prestige event in our district, and very much a protected event.
And they have come to the forefront. It's absolutely a treat. Nothing seems to be a hassle. As we said yesterday, you see all the different volunteers walking around, picking up glasses, wiping tables. The sponsors box yesterday afternoon, when you had Mark on the microphone with you, I was down there, the ladies coming out and making sure they had drinks and food, and nothing has been a trouble. It's an absolute credit to Jubilee on what they've done, how they've gone about things. Made the place open for both bowlers, spectators, sponsors. It's a treat.
And as you can see on your screens, this is what we've been calling this week the show rink, and it has been set up magnificently for spectators and for the players.
And no pot plants have been harmed.
Not yet. They could
change
this afternoon.
Yeah, Robbie, it could change this afternoon in the final.
But Robbie brought in 3 crash hats for us so that we can, because we are sitting right alongside the rink. As you can see on the top right of your screen.
Yeah, that wire, that little bit
little
of tent
cage
there, and that mesh.
That's us.
Yeah, we're just tucked in behind there. So that's fly screeners not going to stop a bowl coming at us at 100 k's an hour, depending on who's on the rink to serve.
It'll slow it down, yeah. Possibly won't dent the crash hats that much. Okay, Air won the honours on the first end. So they are 1 shot up at this stage. These players seem to have adapted to this rink quite well. It's only the second end, and
well, they've had, yes, they haven't played on this
No.
green, but again, talking to players over the last few days that have played on both, pace is only about a second difference between the two. The back green seems to be a little bit slower when it gets affected with water. But
nice bowl coming in here.
It is drawing absolutely a treat.
Absolute delightful
Marvellous,
bowl
yep.
there from Colin.
As a bowler, you know, you can throw it out there and just let the natural bias on a bowl, bring it home, and it's doing its job. Now, that should be tight. Watching
Which
most
it
bowls,
is,
yes. It's gone.
And the weather guides look like they've smiled on us today. When I arrived this morning about 6:45, it was in pea soup fog.
Yeah.
So we weren't sure what was going to be above that, but it's clearing away nicely now, and the sun is peeping through and shining, so we're hoping for an uninterrupted day with the weather.
We will keep some live scores coming your way this morning with games out the back, obviously, for the teams that are in contention for the final. There's the weather map being shown to us.
Just a couple of little spots of cloud around.
Yep.
Nothing in our area at all.
And for those yesterday that were asking about Alligator Creek, there it is right there, just outside of Townsville. Only about 20 k's. Garoo, it's about 40-45 k's down the road. There's Ayr and Home Hill on the map, which those two teams are. Ayr would be roughly 80 to 90, and Home Hill 100 and 105, just over the Burdican Bridge.
And so that the viewers can understand who and what we're talking about. Those teams in contention this morning for finals honours are Katharinga, Thuringowa, Noola
And
and
Jubilee
Jubilee.
have still got a slim chance.
They do have. It's going to depend on the
Margins.
results of other games.
Yep.
And in section 2, we have South Townsville, Bowen, Alligator Creek, and I don't think Ingham's
Ingham still has a slight chance.
slight chance again, depending on results of other games.
Yeah.
So they're the 4 teams in the 2 sections that are battling it out this morning. They are all on the back green. We have a policy, a long-standing policy with the Dunn Cup, that any teams likely to make it through to the final will never play on the final rink
In the morning.
in the morning.
Yep, that's correct. It just makes it fair that way, that no one's played 2 games in a row on
On the show rink.
on the show rink, whether it be a televised rink or the years that we haven't had telecast. But no one gets to play on the final rink in the morning and then again in the afternoon.
John and Judy Burriston, beautiful greens. Yes, they are a picture this morning. We've already commended Jubilee on the way they've presented their greens and their club for this whole event over the last 4 days. An incredible amount of work has been done, and it's all volunteer work. We don't have any paid people. Robbie's the only one that gets paid around here, and he's on a mozza. As he was telling us yesterday, he's prepared to give us part of his wages.
Well, and I'm liking his, because his was a hot donut. It was a hot cinnamon donut.
That's right.
You've got no jam in yours, so there's a good bowl there. He's Maurice come down and got the shot, so that's definitely one to air so far. Yeah, mate. So you've got no donuts with jam for you.
No. Oh. And we've already had discussions with Gold Coast Tweed Media and arranged for
There's a great
coverage.
bowl as
There's a
well.
great bowl there.
Just unlucky.
Unlucky he's popped it across to
Yep.
Maurice Bowl. The success we've had with live streaming, this is the second time we've had the Dunn Cup live streamed. We're ecstatic about the results of it. And we have, again, booked ourselves in for live streaming for next year. Muddy will have a slightly better idea of the timing of that, when the date will be. As Robbie said to me this morning, it'd be nice to know when it is going to be, so they can definitely block it into their agenda.
And because of so much happening in Townsville, like next weekend, we know we can't hold it that weekend because Townsville does the V8s. So accommodation-wise,
It's impossible.
the town is booked out. It'll be booked out already for next year's event for the
V8s.
for V8. So and when you get so many bowlers from out of town, we've got to make sure that accommodation one is a key factor. These guys can't afford to finish at 8:30 at night and then drive home. So it's probably about this time next year again, Robbie, almost the same types of dates.
Yeah, it seems to have worked well. School holiday time too, of course. So we can hopefully pick up the best of both worlds. This last week in Townsville has been a huge week for the Townsville district. We've had so many other state events. We've had a Confraternity Shield, which has been running all week, only finished up on Friday. There's state secondary school netball going on. cultural festivals going on in town, and this weekend we have our local Townsville show going. So accommodation has been at a premium this year. Most years it doesn't really affect us. One advantage that the clubs have, at the end of the final today, they know exactly where the next year's game will be played, so they can make their bookings for next year's event pretty much from tomorrow on.
That's right, yeah. And here in Townsville we have our public holiday tomorrow for our show day.
That's right.
But as you say, come 6 o'clock, 6:30 tonight, everyone knows where the Dunn Cup's going to be played next year.
As part of the conditions with the Dunn Cup, the winner of the Dunn Cup gets to host it the following year. We do not allocate a club to be a host. The only time we get involved is as district management is if the club hosting it hasn't quite got the capacity to accept all 19 teams, and then we as a management will make a decision in conjunction with the host club as to who will get the overflow.
That's correct. Just, Robbie, just looking at 12 months in advance, mate, we would be roughly the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th of June. Now that's not set in concrete yet, but mate, that'll be very, very close to the dates again, which I know makes it hard for you guys because you probably have the Glasshouse Mountains being played on the Monday, Tuesday.
Big bowl from Mick coming in here.
Yeah, that's
a nice bowl. These two teams have settled down to this game very well. Air won the last end, so they have a two-shot lead on the game at the moment, but that's only after 2 ends. 21 ends to go, no time limit, so lots of bowls still to come.
Because I can tell you that the V8s for next year are the 5th and 6th of July. Yep. That's what it's got penciled in. It's not a confirmed date, but again, the V8 organisers pre-plan their dates again on their calendar. Now whether the Cowboys are going to play that weekend here in town, again, that unfortunately doesn't get released till
next year,
January, February. So yep. I just have to go with the flow on how football affects us. Again, purely for accommodation. If the Brisbane Broncos were in town that weekend,
places booked out.
The place is chockers.
And we do advise clubs to
book early.
Book early. As soon as they know where it's going to be. Yes, nice bowl there.
Great try.
As I was saying, our team from Home Hill have only just come back into the fold of North Queensland District, and we're very, very happy to have them.
Yeah, and they look quite smart with that new shirt.
That's right.
It's a brand new shirt for them as a club. Obviously, they've been out of the fold for
3-4 years.
Yeah, maybe even 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been a little while.
They've gone with their same colours, like the Australian type of colours, the gold and the green. So yeah, they look quite schmick. Gone with the dark green pants, the bottle green, I think that's called.
Yeah, so Oxford green, bottle green, whatever.
And Air's got the maroon pants on with the multicoloured shirt. A bit of blue and the maroon and white, bit of orange or something there on the front. Bit of blue on the sleeves.
Both these clubs are fairly small clubs with membership, but now that Home Hill are back, we'll be doing everything in our power we can to assist them and encourage them.
Well, I think the Bowls Queensland ruled, Ron, as they to rejoin.
They had
They
to
had
have
20
members.
Yep.
That's right, which
So
they were able to do
and
fulfil.
it's in quite easily too. A lot of bowlers in the area joined that club as dual members to help the club out, and they've obviously got their full-time members as well. Because as bowlers, the last thing we want to see is our fellow bowlers and clubs fold. So we all try and help out where we can, support them.
And the Ayr Home Hill area is a very, very big sugarcane area. There's 3 mills down there, Muddy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is, mate. There's the one in Brandon, or just before
Just
Brandon.
before Brandon. There's definitely one
The one just as you cross over the bridge there going into Home Hill.
Yep.
I don't know where the other one is. Maybe there's only 2, maybe.
Yeah, it could be only 2. I thought for some reason or other I'm of the opinion there is 3, but I stand corrected.
Yep.
I suspect somebody from Ayr or Home Hill will zip us a
let us know.
little message to tell us exactly.
And the reason I know, we discussed it the other day, I was talking to David DeFrancesi. You had his brother Mark on the phone, the stream with you yesterday. David, obviously heavy into sugarcane. And he was the one that told me about how the Burdican is the only area in Australia that, or maybe it was Queensland, that burns sugar still. They have the rights, or they have the permission that area can still burn sugar because of the size of the cane. That's how he explained it to me. So up in the Ingham area, which again is plenty of sugar, and going up towards the Cairns, Tully, Innisfail, plenty of sugar cane all the way. None of them burn. They
That's
cut
right.
it all
It's
green.
all green harvested.
But in the Burdican, yep, they still burn, and it's a sight to see too.
It is.
when you
It's a
see
spectacular event. They really promote it now.
They call it the Burdican snow when you see the black ash
Floating everywhere.
flowing down everywhere. And I was down in Ayr last weekend playing bowls, and Ayr Bowls Club. It was just a sight to see all this black ash.
Because they are in the middle of the cane cutting season at the moment.
And it just goes for miles when it drifts. Okay, so they're deciding on how many they've got here. I think that was 2.
It looked like 2. Yes, Robbie said it's definitely 2.
Yep.
So Ayr have shot off to a very small lead of 4 shots to 0 after 3 ends.
Okay, Sandra has got on here that there's the Calamia, Invicta, and Inkerman mills. So thank you, Sandra. There's 3 mills down there in the Burdican.
And Daryl Abercrombie, morning Daryl, is telling us there's only one on the way to Alba Beach.
I can't see his screen, but Abba, there is only one on the way. Oh, there is one on the way to Alva Beach. Oh, okay, thanks, Abba. Sandra has just let me know too. There's the Calamia, Invicta, and Inkerman Mill. So I didn't know about the one on the way to Alva Beach. But mate, thank you very much for that. There's a great start. That's a cracker over that distance. Almost a resting toucher. That was Sam from Ayr. We've got Alex here from Home Hill, and that's a good reply. He's finished almost jack high, just to the right of that bowl. Sam's gonna try and replicate his first. He's a little bit underdone now with weight and grass. His weight's probably good, but just the grass Yeah. Way underdone. Okay, Alex. That'll come from back out there, but just not enough. I think he was just a bit too wide. He's tracking in okay. Probably finished in a good home if the second changes, depending what the skip does and how he wants to call the head. But could be in a good home there if he wants to change hands and get his second just to come up and try and sit the bowl or trail the kitty.
And a good morning to Anne Lilly from Dunedin in New Zealand. Nice to have you with us again, Anne.
Morning, Anne. How are you? Hope things are well for you over there. New Zealand. See, the New Zealand Warriors had a good win against the Brisbane Broncos yesterday. So I'm sure all New Zealanders will be very happy with their Warriors. I know there's a few Broncos supporters here playing bowls and they're not happy, Jan.
Okay, back to the game.
Message there from Bruce Kirk. Howdy, James. Hope you are well.
Okay, so he's obviously responding back to James Johnson.
Yes.
Well, James hasn't told us how he is. Great bowl there
That's
today. Brilliant bowl. I'm quite surprised how well these two teams have adjusted to this rink.
Again, none of those players would have ever played. Well, some of the guys from Home Hill have never even played at this level.
No.
Just joined a bowls club. Been social bowlers for some time. So to come out and have to play Dunn Cup for 4 days at this level.
It's a huge achievement for them.
8:30 start, 9 o'clock starts till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Is and for 4 days solid. It's you know, an eye-opener, as one of them said to me yesterday. They're glad their club nominated, got back into the fold of playing bowls and back in with NQ, Bowls Queensland, so they can participate in events like this.
Because for quite a few years at Dunn Cup level, Home Hill were a power club. They've won more than their fair share of Dunn Cups. As I mentioned earlier this morning,
Yep.
Home Hill is the birthplace of the Dunn Cup. Originated from the Dunn family in Home Hill, and it's been going for 82 years.
I'm just giving you a calculation now. They won their first back in 1989. Unless I've read something wrong there, but 1989 is the first year Home Hill won it.
They played off in a lot of finals there,
yes,
buddy.
they have, yes. Yeah. Then they won it in 95, 96. They won it in 2005. And I think with most of those wins...
there's some quality bowls being played here this morning.
Yep. You had him on the air yesterday, Mark DiFrancesi.
Yep.
Him and his brother David. An absolute powerhouse together, those two, back in their day.
And their father used to play for Air.
Yeah, yes, as...
They were a very strong bowling family. And all good bowlers too.
Oh, yeah.
All quality bowlers. Oh, Muddy, I am quite impressed with the way these two teams have adapted to this rink.
Yep. They're not embarrassing themselves or their clubs.
Or their clubs, they're doing a sterling job.
Yep.
Admittedly, the pressure is off for them.
They cannot make the final this afternoon.
No, but they're putting their best foot forward.
Yep, and they're still trying and not giving up till that last bowl's being played. So,
because at the end of the day, the rankings, I suppose, for want of a better word, is determined by the order of merit where every team plays, and that will decide which section they will be playing in next year and whereabouts in that section. So there's still a lot at stake for all these clubs this morning.
Yeah, because we have our standard draw where what team number you are, who you play. We just don't know a name next to that number yet. So
And that won't be determined until after the final.
Yeah, till 5:30, 6:30 tonight, whenever it may be.
We're a little bit tight on that.
And then once we have got all that, we'll post all that type of information on our NQDMBA
Website, Facebook page, and
to let everyone know. So we'll broadcast right up till the final this afternoon. Are we broadcasting the presentation to the winners?
We normally do. Robbie likes to do the presentation as well.
So we have the
which is usually always a fairly emotional time for
most clubs.
Most clubs, especially if you've won it.
Yep, and then one player out of the winning team will be lucky enough to win the Rancantatori Shield and be presented with his badge as the player of the final.
And his medal.
Yep,
and the trophy.
And that goes to a player in the winning side that we deem to be the best player in that team. So sometimes it's very hard to pick. You'd like to give it to 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4. Because bowls is obviously a team event.
That's 2.
2.
That's
and
3.
To 3. I'd say the grey is 4. Maybe they're going to measure them.
They're definitely going to measure. I'm not quite sure.
Because the grey bowler is Maurice as the skip. Well, Robbie, it looks like we've got no interruption with rain today, mate. Well, not on the
radar
forefront
anyway.
at that moment, so you might be able to turn the air conditioner. There's 4. You might be able to turn the air conditioning on in this tent for us.
4 shots. 4 shots to air, which lets them skip away to an 8-0 lead after 4 ends. Most of these bowlers from Home Hill are just, as Muddy mentioned earlier, recently to the game of bowls, so they are still learning their craft, sprinkling a little bit of experience amongst them. But they will learn a lot from playing in this tournament, because they've played in the section where some of the real big guns are, such as Jubilee, Tharangawa, Katharinga, Noola, Suburban. So they've played against some very experienced bowlers this weekend, and talking to a couple of them this morning, they were extremely happy with the way they've gone. They haven't had the results that they would like, but as 2 of them were saying this morning, we have learnt a huge amount this weekend.
That's right. And mate, and they're all playing well. Whether they've been playing for 5 minutes or 5 years or 50 years, they're all doing extremely well.
Okay, just
I'm back
with a message from one of our umpires. We've finally got our first moose for the tournament. Bowen Bowls Club have just picked up an 8. Now Bowen are in the hunt to play off in the final, so that's looking extremely promising for them. Again, a small club, as I say, small in numbers, membership, and have surpassed their expectations this weekend. Two brothers playing in that team, the Wright boys. Okay. We have here Mick McCloskey playing his first bowl. Okay, we're a little bit wayward this end compared to what we've been seeing so far. Okay. Right. It's Colin Essex's. His grass was perfect, just a fraction heavy. And Mick with his second bowl. Okay, nice correction there from Mick. Must be about a metre behind. Yes, I'm hearing a little bit of static through my headphones at the moment, Robbie. Just wondering whether it's coming from. That's it. That button on the control. So it's not me. It's not. Yeah, it possibly is, because with the amount of rain we had yesterday afternoon and the air was very moist. One of our wildlife trotting across the green, having a look to see what's going on. So I would suspect that Home Hill are holding the shot at the moment. Trevor Elton is a bit wayward there, didn't like that bowl at all. And Tony Ball, or Anthony as his skip called him. So I suspect he prefers Anthony with his first bowl. He's coming in now. Yes, that's bloody beautiful. Why don't you tell us what you really think of the bowl, Maury? Using the Aussie vernacular. Just a little bit weighty from Trevor. Okay, so we have Air holding the shot at the moment. As they cross over, the skip's heading to the mat. And Maury Power about to deliver his first bowl. He's holding one shot. Yeah, Robbie's got a little bit of a headache at the moment. We've got some moisture in in part of the equipment, especially the audio equipment, creating a little bit of the static, which Robbie's picking up. Now, apologies if it's distracting for the viewers. It's Wayne Newton had a nice try there, Wayne. It just ran through a little bit. Maurice decided to change his hand. He didn't like this other side. Still holding one shot. And you will hear, as you possibly can, dogs barking, etc. This club is right in the middle of a residential area with a huge park surrounding one side of it, but residence is very close to the boundaries of the club. Wayne's just hanging out there, so that will be one shot to air after 5 ends. One to air, which takes them to a 9-0 lead after 5 ends. So air's off to a bit of a flyer this morning. Just the one, Robbie, yes. Okay, so Sam Caltabiano will lead off for air. Caltabiano being a fairly well-known family in the air district, Italian heritage. As we were mentioning yesterday, McNaid, Ingham, Noola in the Herbert, and Guru, Air, Home Hill in the Burdican. A lot of their members are all tied up with the cane fields and sugar manufacturing. Okay. Alex Bojack with his first bowl. He's coming across now, but he's possibly about 4 metres behind the kitty. Sam again with his first bowl. He's swinging across nicely. Yes, a nice start there, or good correction there from Sam.
Hey Ron, I'm back.
You're back, Muddy.
Yes, just had to organise a couple of little, as you mentioned, the 8 badges.
Yes.
Which we still hand out in this competition. We have a special 8 badge.
With a D imprinted on it.
D. And I do have some, but I had left them
at home?
No, they're actually at my bowls club in the safe. So,
okay.
So they can never be lost. I've got them in a plastic container there, so I know where they are. So I've just organised for
them to be sent across.
Sent over. So.
Colin Essex picked up the kitty, trotted across with it, and gave Air 2 shots for this end.
See the scores 9-0 so far after 5.
Yes, Air picked up another shot on that last end.
Last end, yep.
The score is not really indicating what's happening on the green to some extent, because Home Hill are trying to match it with Air, but they're not quite getting the luck at the moment.
Yeah, they're always in the area. It's not like they're
No, that's right. It's Trevor's first bowl.
Scooted on through there.
Yep. Okay.
Nice and wide out there. This should come in nicely.
Second bowl. Yeah, we've been finding it once it gets out past that area.
Yeah, look at this.
He's coming home. Yep.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with that draw on that grain.
That's a nice little bowl there, which gives them 3. So putting the pressure a little bit on Mick McCloskey. See what Mick can do to reduce this or pick up the shot.
Sorry, Robbie. Didn't have my mic set up properly. Naughty boy.
Well, it is early in the morning, Muddy. So
Yes, I know, yeah, and
we'll forgive you for that.
yes,
But don't do it twice,
No.
because Robbie will pick
Yes.
that lump of 4B2 up. and-
yep, and maybe I'll be the first one hit with a cattle prod.
Dave Good. How's it going, Dave? Hi, team from Dave Good. Enjoying the commentary.
Hey, Goody, how are you, mate?
Glad to hear it. Dave has been a winner of Dunn Cups a couple of times.
Yes, he's won it with multiple clubs.
Still up in Cooktown, I believe.
Yes,
Part of the local constabulary up there.
yep. Only a few years for him to retire. Led to
How's
believe
everything
he's-
going with the Cooktown Green, Dave? 'Cause they had some disastrous damage done in the last cyclone.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, the last I heard, which was during the state titles, was that they'd finally got 1 or 2 rinks playable. Nice bowl there.
Okay, I didn't
Great
know
bowl,
that.
Great bowl there from Trevor.
Oh, Goody, let us know how your green's going, mate. Hopefully there's not. It's got a hard covered roof over that though, so.
Yeah, but don't forget, Cooktown was flooded,
Oh, okay. Oh, of course it was. Yeah. So water's got on the green.
and that club
Maybe a
is on the is right on the water.
Okay, yep. I've never been to Cooktown, so
Great little club.
maybe Goody, you could organise an invite. We could all come up there and play bowls or something.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't want all of us up there if they've only got a couple of rinks playable.
Well, yeah. With all Goody's money, mate, he could
That's right.
he could get that fixed pretty quick.
You would think so.
You know, get a couple of local contractors, get them from Cairns, go up there, spruce the joint up. It's good to see a heap of spectators still wandering in over there
Yep.
from the street. I can see quite a few South Townsville spectators coming.
Okay, waiting for Dave Good, waiting for insurance only. 3 rinks playable until the new green's laid. Invite for bowls or out on the reef fishing. Yes, definitely out on the reef fishing, Dave.
As long as it's nice and smooth, mate. It's got to be glass from me.
And you would have to have
Otherwise,
electric systems in the water so
Yeah.
there was no sharks around. Otherwise, Muddy wouldn't even get in the boat.
yeah, mate. Otherwise, you've got Burley coming by the bucket load.
No, nice little place, Cooktown. North of Cairns. Fairway north of Cairns, actually.
Yes. Yeah, Goody won his last Dunn Cup with Alligator Creek. He skipped their side. They beat Cutharinga in the final at Cutharinga a couple of years ago, which obviously I wasn't happy with, but the better team won on the day, and
They certainly did.
that's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say.
That was a classic case of developing a
Yep.
team to do exactly what they wanted them to do, and they played it to perfection.
Oh, like I called it just Goody cheating, but
It was not cheating.
Goody's good, mate. So he knows I don't mean any harm by it, and they played extremely well all weekend.
Okay, here's another one. Enjoyable one. John Brown enjoying the coverage. John played the Dunn Cup in the late 90s and early 20s for Mystic Sands. Good to see some of the old faces. John's now down at Urangan in Harvey Bay.
Oh, yes,
Nice to hear from you, John. How's everything going for you?
I think I remember John. And I've been to Urangan, played down there with Howard Best, Yogi, in a money carnival in, I think it was November one year, late November.
It's 4. So
A bit of a blowout now. Just early.
6 shots.
No, 6 ends.
6 ends, sorry. 6 ends. 4 for air there.
13-0.
And a little bit unlucky there because Wayne Newton played a very good bowl, but unfortunately wasn't able to stick with it. I hope we have air playing tactics now. I would have thought the skip would have been happy to maintain the status quo with the length of end there, given that they've got such a handy start. After 6 ends, air is 13, Home Hill yet to open their account. So Sam is about to play his first bowl. What's the final looking like? What are the standings at the moment? Okay, Dave. We have 8 teams playing out for 2 positions at this stage. Jubilee, Thuringowa, Noola and Cutharinga in section 1 can go any way. Interestingly, Thuringowa is playing Cutharinga this morning and Jubilee is playing Noola. And in section 2 we have Bowen, South Townsville, Alligator Creek and possibly, depending how those games go, Ingham could sneak back into the fold. In that section, those 4 teams are playing 4 that can't make the final, so it's going to be it will come down to a possible count back in that section.
That's correct.
So it's one of those years where we really have not got any idea of who's going to be fronting up for the final at this stage.
That's correct.
We've got the umpires keeping a close check on the scores on the back green, and they've just come in with
some scores. Just getting back to John's comment when he played for Mystic Sands, I think the only Mystic Sands player, that's still playing here this weekend, mate, is Michael Blake. Whether you've seen him the other night on the live stream, I'm not too sure, but mate,
I don't know whether Michael would have been there in the 90s, was he?
He possibly could.
Okay, John Brown. Yes, he remembers you, Muddy, at Urangan.
Yes.
With Yogi. Still have
the stuffed rhino.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. As Cutharinga being known as the Cutharinga Rhinos.
And Greg Duncan from Alligator Creek is wanting an update on the scores. Yes, we're
about
to do that now.
I have those right now. So we have on Rink 8, which is Brandon versus Alligator Creek after 5 ends. Alligator Creek 5, Brandon 1. On Rink 7, we have Garoo and South Townsville playing each other. After 5 ends, it is 4 all. On Rink 6, there is Noola playing Jubilee. After 5 ends, Jubilee 7, Noola 4. On Rink 5, after 6 ends, Cutharinga 8, Thuringowa 3. On Rink 4, Bowen playing Magnetic Island. After 7 ends, Bowen 12, Magnetic Island 6. And on Rink 3, Suburban playing, Subs playing, I can't see what that is supposed to say. That's McNade.
Yes.
It's after 5 ends. The score is 5 to 12, as in Suburban 5, McNade 12. So a couple of close games. No,
very early in the games yet.
Yep, no runaways.
A couple of interesting results there at the moment.
Yes, Bowen, obviously, as you said earlier, picked up an 8. So it would have been very close if they hadn't got 8. I mean, the score's 12-6. There's only 6 shots in it, but some of those, that is 8.
Yeah. Anthony is coming up beautifully. Great bowl.
James has put a couple of comments on my screen here, Ron. Hey Bruce, hope you are Well, my friend, all good over here in the UK, buddy. So James is obviously talking to Bruce.
From England.
Yep. And
Okay, so... Okay.
James has also asked me, though, Dunn Cup was great to watch when it was at Cutharinga and Alligator Creek won it. Yes, that's correct. Not long ago, such a small club winning is nice to see. Mate, it is great to see, whether a club of 200 members win it or a club of 5 or 6. Or, you know, or even in this case, if Home Hill could make a Dunn Cup final and win it with 20 odd members. From our point of view, no discrimination. Love to see the small guy win.
So, Air at the moment holding shot. Trevor Elton, is he going to get a walk? No, he's not.
No worries, Greg. Thanks, mate. We'll try and keep you updated all the time, like we have been. Every 6 or 7 ends, we will get a score from the back. The umpires will get me some scores and try and put out, you know, keep everyone informed, because it's obviously critical this morning. Any one of those teams that Ron's mentions could be playing again this afternoon, if things go their way.
Well, that's right. So it's early days, and as I look behind me, the Gremlin's warming up. So he's obviously got his eye on something or someone, and we can be guaranteed that it will strike at some stage today.
Certainly will. It won't go all everyone's way.
No.
Out of 17, only 2 can play this afternoon. So, and as we look over the fence line there, there's a few Newell spectators. Gary Akinera,
Yes.
their president, coming in, support their guys. One of the front runners. That's a
Nice
big
bowl
chance
there.
of playing this afternoon. So,
Great bowl there from Murray.
yep.
He gives them 2.
Yes, that's Robbie's van with the alarm going off.
Someone's decided there's something in the van that they like,
Or someone's maybe just
or
bumped into it or knocked it, or
it's
so Robbie's just had to leave the
hot
tent
footing
for the
it.
yep.
Hot footing into the media van. Okay, Maury with his second bowl. Played a nice bowl with his first.
Just keep an eye on Robbie there, make sure everything's all right.
Yes,
in case he's,
we don't want Robbie accosted.
yeah, there's a few people standing out there with him, so I'm sure he's okay. And there's plenty of bowlers here that could take matters into their own hands.
That's
if,
right. Sadly, and there's no reflection on Jubilee or anybody else, but Townsville is still in the grip of a lot of youth crime at the moment, and most of the citizens in Townsville tend to get very nervous when they hear alarms going off. Stolen cars seems to be the order of the day. Here's a nice, great bowl there. Great bowl there from Wayne. I'm not too sure whether he's... Okay, so Home Hill have opened their eyes. After 7 ends, it is 13-1.
Gary Akinera just giving us the thumbs up there from Newell the Bowls Club. Hey Gary, how are you, mate? He's, as I said, he's come to support his local boys, Thomas and his team.
Okay.
And Ron, as we look over that fence line again, mate, more spectators on their way in.
Yes,
so,
it's good to see.
mate.
Well, this venue's been set up for good spectator viewing this week.
All down our left-hand side here with all the chairs, and there it is there. Robbie's just viewing in on it, so grandstands...
Even have grandstand seating.
For this afternoon's finals should be absolutely a treat.
Okay.
That's our blue marquee, and
blue marquee.
Down the other end is the blue marquee of the sponsors.
Yeah.
So
they've got this
set up magnificent.
Set up absolutely beautifully.
And tables and chairs down the left-hand side as we're looking at the screen at the moment. again for public viewing this afternoon for the final. So,
And they also have this being streamed into the clubhouse on a large screen they've got in there, so spectators not wishing to be out here in the watery sun at the moment can sit inside in the air conditioning and watch the game from in there. Which happened yesterday afternoon when the sun was really out. There were it was standing room only inside the clubhouse. Obviously a lot cooler in there, a lot more pleasant. And also when the rain came, they all disappeared inside.
and James has just gone there. Definitely agree with comments about small clubs winning. Yeah, and I totally agree, mate. It's as I said, you know, from our point of view, NQ, just happy for anyone to win, whether they be a big club, small club. It's a great money revenue for clubs. So when a small club like Alligator Creek or Garoo or whoever it may be was to win it, puts their club at the forefront. So yeah, it's great to see. And Bruce, me being the chairman at Cutharinga, mate, home of the cupcakes. Yes, we did that year. One of our members' mother-in-law, her business was doing those cupcakes and cakes and all that type of thing. So, mate, we had the stall set up with the cupcakes. So, yes, I remember it very correctly under the big white marquee.
Bruce, how are you, Bruce? Ron here. Keeping well?
Bruce has put on their Cutharinga the cupcakes.
Bruce is our cupcake boy. He fell in love with the cupcake lady at Cutharinga.
Yes, and James, yes, and the infamous Rink 6. It was actually Rink 8.
Yes.
We were glad to see that rink gone.
It did our head in all weekend, that rink, as it did the players' heads in too.
But
John Strybosh. We're not too sure how our live stream came up on your feed, John, but I'm very pleased to hear that you are thoroughly enjoying it. So we must be doing something a little bit right. Nice to have you with us. So we're not too sure how it managed to come up on your feed, but that's modern technology, I suppose. Okay, back to the game. Okay, just a little bit of housekeeping we had to attend to there. Sorry about that. Muddy's I've just turned Muddy on. We only have a very small district board here in North Queensland. There is only the 4 of us, where, as you could possibly appreciate, we are stretched very thin here, and so every now and then we have to do a little bit of housekeeping.
Yes, James, my bad. No, it's not your bad, mate. Don't worry about it. It was a crazy rink. It certainly was that rink 8. It
kept us amused all weekend.
Mate, it was trying, and obviously for Robbie and the guys doing the live stream, as you can appreciate, they needed ditch rink. You can't have a TV rink in the middle of a green during play because of all these cables and cords and
equipment and everything
if you
else,
see everything here, that cameras at both ends, so all behind those pot plants, there's cords running everywhere. So if it's just a one green venue, you've got rink 1 or rink 8 to choose. So in our case, we chose rink 8, and it definitely sorted
a lot of clubs out.
A lot of clubs. Maybe not the best for viewing, but it was trying.
I commentated that year.
Yeah,
and,
I did 1 or 2 games, yes.
Kept the viewers highly amused.
Not good from my club's point of view, but
Well,
Anyway.
that particular year, that was pretty much the last
That was the
event you had on that green.
that grass,
You've now
yeah.
gone to artificial.
Certainly have, and it's proven to be well worth it.
Okay, again, this stage, a big shout out to our sponsors. Townsville City Council, huge sponsors for Jubilee to assist in getting this venue up to the scratch that it is. Jubilee Bowls Club, obviously, power of work, and should be very proud of what they've achieved. Multicom Communications, and Multicom helped us out here on Thursday morning when we had a few glitches in our system. And they came to the party very quickly and got Robbie underway. JCell Electrical and Instrumentation, again, good sponsors of Jubilee. Glencarroll Painting, TK Power and Air, also very good sponsors of Jubilee Bowls Club, and our naming rights sponsor, Gallavanta Travel. We thank you all very much, and we certainly appreciate your support and sponsorship. Without it, these events we would be struggling to get these events up to the standard that we'd like.
Yeah, as you said, Ron, you know, these events don't happen without those people, and we can't thank them enough. It's and to Jubilee, it's you know, we've said it numerous times, the amount of workers and volunteers they've had here, and they're all, that's the key word, all volunteers giving up their time. The guys must be here at 6 o'clock in the morning to start cooking bacon and egg burgers for everybody, so players can get a feed in the morning, brekkie. You know, it's an absolute credit. They've just gone bent over backwards to help people out. So
yep, they have set a standard that is going to be hard to achieve in some cases.
That's right, yeah. In
but
some
the standard
areas
has been set, and there's.
I'd like to think that most clubs have always tried their hardest with the resources that they have, and I know everyone does. So, and Jubilee has done a fantastic job this year, being their turn.
It's 1,
2. Going to put a measure on that? No, just 2 shots.
2 shots to air. It takes them after 8 ends to 15, home hill 1. And just a reminder to our local people that might be watching our live stream, we hope are watching our live stream, that Brian Marshall, President of Bowls Queensland, and Graham Lewis, the Finance Director of Bowls Queensland, are at Jubilee at the moment and are conducting an open forum. So if you would like to come down, speak to Brian in person and Graham in person, and that they were more than happy to answer any questions or queries you might have.
And it's good to see those guys taking the time to talk to anybody and everybody from clubs on any issue that they think they may have at a club.
Yeah, we're very grateful. We extended an invitation to Bowls Queensland to attend the event as we do most years, and Ryan and Graham were more than happy to accept our invitation and come up, and we did point out to them that we would like to utilise them in a PR role for Bowls Queensland.
Definitely.
Which they've been doing all weekend. Not frightened to get out amongst the spectators, have a chat to the players, talk to the spectators. So we're very thankful that they have turned up. Not the first time we've had Bowls Queensland representation at the Dunn Cup. The last few years we've usually had 1 or 2. And it is appreciated.
Well, mate, you know, sitting there talking to players yesterday, lunchtime, and even last night, the respect they now have, or the change of opinion for Bowls Queensland is enormous because of simply what those guys have done, walking around to the crowd, talking to spectators, the players. They have now a new look on their opinions, which is great to see. Not that it was ever bad, but
no,
obviously being in the north, we don't get to see those guys that often. You know, we don't have the premier events that the Sunshine, Gold Coast, Brisbane area do. So, yeah, mate, it's absolutely fantastic. And I think you would agree that they've been welcomed with open arms.
Yes, and so the
That's a great bowl.
players and the spectators have commented of how approachable they've been this weekend. And
Yep.
so we do appreciate it.
Okay, I have a couple of new score updates. After 7 ends, Brandon 6, Alligator Creek 7. After 7 ends, South Townsville 8, Garoo 7. After 7 ends, Jubilee 8, Noola 6. After 8 ends, Cutharinga 11, Darrengower 4. After 7 ends, Bowen 12, Magnetic Island 6. That's the same as before. They have obviously had a couple of dead ends. After 7 ends, McNade 14, Suburban 5. And after 9 ends, no, that doesn't make sense. He's got after 9 ends. Maybe that's supposed to be a 7. Ingham 3, Wangaratta 5.
Okay.
Because
It's,
it can't be after 9 ends, only 8. Oh, unless, well, they could be right. They could have had an end that was a dead heat, so the end counts. I don't know. I'll have to confirm that. But at this stage, Wangaratta 5, Ingham 3.
Okay, Dave Good. Do you think our crystal ball is that good that we can give you a starting time for the final? You've played enough finals to know the vagaries of it. The best I can tell you and explain to the viewers, the final will take place after lunch. We know that much. We do know the actual timing of it. We can't really give you any definitive answer to that. We normally would like to try and get underway around about 1 o'clock, 1:30. But again, it will depend on the times that these other games take this morning. So there's a couple of games there that could stretch out to 3.5, 4 hours.
Well, most of those rinks, Ron, that I just said, they're only a third of the way through.
Yeah.
Here it is almost 10 o'clock.
Yep.
So, you're looking at
Couple
a 12,
more hours to go,
12:30. I would think 1:30 start by the time players have lunch.
And we try not to rush them through that
No.
period.
We'll have got a few little housekeeping jobs to do before the final starts. We have a raffle to draw. We've got maybe a couple of thank yous and all that type of thing to do. And
But we will have it underway.
yes, as soon as we can.
I would anticipate no later than 1:30, Dave.
Yeah.
And the final this afternoon is 25 ends, no time limit. None of these games are time limited in this event.
That was the right way. Beautiful.
Okay, Home Hill holding shot at the moment with Alec Bojack's black bowl. Unfortunately, he's pinched his grass on that.
Yeah, that'll cut right across. Again, Ron, spectators just coming in galore. So that's
It's
the
great to see.
nature of the beast on a Saturday and Sunday.
Especially a Sunday, the
Yep.
first game Sunday. That's
Good to see all the clubs, all their friends and spectators coming down to watch.
and
Even
this year
if-
with it being so wide open,
Yes.
it's got the attention of the clubs
Yep.
to come down and support their teams.
When I had to run off before to organise a couple of things, our patron Billy Green was in the office down there looking at the charts, and again he's been involved with Dunn Cup for so many years. Again, he said he can't remember a year where at this stage we have no idea who's in the final.
That's right.
So it's a credit to all those teams that have hung in and making a great event of it.
Okay.
Murray
Norwich
just scooting on
zip
past there.
He had the right line. I don't think he had quite the right weight. He could have dropped a few ounces, a couple of ounces off that. Wayne's bowl trickling up, and he doesn't. It's all right. I was going to say he didn't need to touch that green bowl.
Message here from Yogi Best. Howard. Morning, gentlemen, and muddy. Just got back from church.
You've worked it out, Yogi.
I'll reserve my rights to comment on that, Mr. Best. No, Yogi and I are great mates. Yogi's getting married next January. I've been lucky enough to be picked to be his best man, so can't wait for that event to happen.
I didn't think you were that silly, Yogi.
Oh, I can't believe she's asked him. Like, I think he drugged her.
Great bowl here from...
He's straight back to his own. Oh, he's gone past his own. That might be, yep.
That's a heartbreaking bowl.
That's one
Could be
to...
3 down, they're saying.
From 1 up.
Yes.
Unfortunately, just played that bowl with too much weight.
Yep. They're the sort of shots that really hurt.
Oh, yeah.
But again, home hill trying to...
Yeah, just trying to do something to change it up.
Change it up a little bit. Two shots to air. So after 9 ends, air move on to 17. Home hill still sitting on 1. But as I said earlier, home hill is still very competitive. They've just not quite got their luck.
Not getting the results that they were after.
No.
And as I said earlier, Ron, they're not being disgraced. They're still getting bowls in around the head area.
Yeah, that's right.
Air just being that little bit more consistent and obviously closer. But it's not like they're dropping 4s and 5s and 6s every end. So the boys from Home Hill, they're trying hard. First year in the comp. And as I said, for a couple of those players, they're just social bowlers that have joined the club to make up numbers so they could become a bowls club. So it's great to see.
From John Strybosch, all the best for your daughter's baptism, John. Glad you were able to get some of our feed and appreciate your comments. Okay. So we have Sam running through substantially, possibly about 4 or 5 metres. He really lost that one. Alex Bojack on the mat now for Home Hill.
Wixie's just come and grabbed the score chart, so he's going to do another
There's been some
score update. Yeah, maybe
change
some
or
changes
something.
up the back, so it's good to see.
Okay, nice start here from Alex.
We will try and keep you updated all the time
He's
on the
run
games.
through, yeah, he's run through about 4 metres too. This green is, I suspect this green might be running a bit quicker this morning than it has in the last couple of days. I might get you to do a time on that, Muddy, if we can get an end that's going to be suitable.
Well, this end's almost a 3/4. You look at the mat here on the almost on the tee.
Okay, Sam corrected there.
We'll not that I'm an expert, but happy to try anything once.
If you mess it up, someone will tell us.
I'm sure they will. So we'll just wait to see a bowl being delivered. Hardest thing is just to tell when it's exactly jack high, but
this one's pretty close.
Well, I didn't.
You weren't that one going.
I wasn't on that one.
Okay,
So
Alex Bojack, again, good correction.
We're going to try with this bowl. So we'll try and get it on point of delivery.
Go. I shouldn't say that because what the viewers are seeing is different to what we're seeing, because there is a time delay in case Muddy blurts out something he shouldn't. You got that? Now he's stopped.
Okay, that was at 16.62.
Yeah, it looked to me as if it had quickened up this morning.
Okay, so we'll do another one just to see.
There's a nice bowl there from Colin Essex. Mick McCloskey with his first bowl. He's a bit wide.
That's finishing way back there, and I can't see where that's finished, so unfortunately I can't do that one. And he had a lot of pace on that bowl.
That's
so
right.
We'll try.
So Colin with his next bowl. He's
Gone a bit wider.
yeah.
A lot wider compared to his first. He's going to be shorter.
Not really, not that much shorter, but anyway. Okay.
That one's 16.38.
Okay, so we're running around about 16 seconds, which is a nice pace,
Oh, that's a beautiful pace.
considering the first 3 days, this green's been running about 14 and a half to
Yep.
15.
It's really dried out. There hasn't been.
Well, we've had no rain this morning, which is
No.
there
was rain yesterday afternoon and last night.
and it was quite substantial rain there for a short period of time, not for long, but it did get a fair bit of water on the green. This is a needlepoint green. Yes, nice bowl there. Great bowl there from Anthony, as he likes to be called. Yeah. Okay, Trevor Elton. He's picked up a leaf by the look of it, somewhere on his way down. So air holding one for sure, maybe multiple, but we haven't got the side view at the moment, so it's a little bit difficult to tell. Oh, it zipped in nicely there, so Home Hill might find themselves in a little bit of strife here. Back with this big fella.
Yeah, mate, yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, just trailing a little bit behind. Okay, it's up to Wayne and Maurice Power now to show us their wares. I suspect, it's only suspect, that Air could be holding 3 shots there. Maybe
Be very close.
Maybe even 4. Well, definitely 3, I'd say. Could be 4. It's a bit hard to tell just how far back Sam's bowl is.
Yeah.
He wants to steal his shot. Okay. He needs to be inside that black bowl of Alec Bojak's. He might be a
I
bit
would think
tight. That's going to zip away to the...
well underdone.
Yep.
That's a rare steak.
Yes, yes, I wasn't going to say that, Murray, but Murray quoted the obvious there, shook his head and said that was terrible. Okay, Wayne Newton with his bowl, and
Wayne's played this with a bit of purpose.
Purpose.
If he holds his line,
no, sadly he's
No,
not
he's
going to
gonna-
hold his line.
but
He possibly
He's-
needed another half an ounce of weight with that
Yeah.
line.
when that's beautiful draw weight,
Yeah,
if he's looking to trail that, yeah, he needs just that
fraction more.
Yep, bit more, and it'd hold that line a bit longer.
Okay, that's better grass for Murray.
And much better weight.
Much
so
better
he's
weight. He's going to
yep.
come in nicely here.
Trying to sit the back
Underneath
orange.
that bowl of Alex's, and he's
shot.
done it to
Yep.
perfection.
That's a great correction on
That
his
could be
first.
a 5 they're holding there.
Okay, so what's Wayne got here? If he keeps the same line he had before and more weight,
He's taken a wider line.
but Has he got the weight to come in
That's
now?
the big question. Has he
No.
got the weight? No, he's cutting across again. Great try though.
I'd say he'll be
Oh,
four,
Could
maybe
be four,
five.
maybe five.
That's probably one of the
1, 2,
two,
3. Okay. Well, I would have thought. That's well in. That's 4. Big 5 for air. Unlucky there
Yep.
for home hill. So after 10 ends,
22-1.
22-1. It is a bit of a blowout, but it's not really indicating 5. Yes, Robbie, 5. You need to
Yep.
keep the score going across to Robbie because he's doing the graphics on every end.
I see he's got his calendar. Is that his calendar open for next year? And
No, he's doing some homework.
ah,
Robbie's very heavily involved in the Gold Coast-Tweed district,
oh, okay, yes.
and bit like some of us up here, has to wear more
Yep.
than one hat.
Or more than one, yes. Geez, we know what that's about.
Yeah. We'll get to the stage one day where we'll be able to convince some of our district members that it's time for them to step up and
Yeah, because we
Have a-
won't
have a
always be
swipe.
around to do everything. So,
no. And to be perfectly honest, I'm getting to the stage where I'm having to think about giving some of this away. Great start here from Sam.
Sam is
Brilliant bowl.
really,
Played a bomb.
yep.
Maury was very happy with that.
I can't understand why. I mean, I know that these guys have been in a tough competition, as in with some of the teams they've played against. But geez, they're playing extremely good bowls. That
Yep.
they would have been unlucky to not have maybe got some more wins than what they've currently got.
Yeah. Because again, Air Bowls Club, whilst they kept functioning, they went through a stage over the last few years. Say the last couple of years, they've really come back to the competition mode. But they struggled for a few years there, finding that they didn't have the bowlers that they could put fields out for the pennants and the Dunn Cup. There was a couple of years they didn't play in the Dunn Cup, and definitely 2 or 3 years they didn't play in our district pennants, Muddy.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
But they've got their mojo going now, and it's great to see them and have them back playing in our competitions.
Yeah, both of those teams prior to this event, to this game, had only had one win each.
That's right. Yeah.
And some of the standard of bowls that I can't understand why they've probably maybe not had another couple of wins. But anyway,
That's the way the game
yeah,
goes.
that's correct.
And you know,
I mean, as I said, they are in a tough section.
oh yes,
Not that any section's easy, or any game's easy.
but it is a hard section.
Yep, it is.
And it's a section that plays an extra game, basically.
Yeah. So you've got that nighttime game. You've got
The two nighttime games,
yeah,
basically.
but yes, that's correct. Yep.
And it's interesting to note that Ayr were the original winners of the Dunn Cup back in 1937.
Yeah, they won the first ever one, didn't they?
Yep, they certainly did. Ayr have won the Dunn Cup 4 times before. But back in 1937, there were 5 clubs which started out the Dunn Cup competition. Ayr being one, Home Hill, the founders of the the Dunn Cup. Collinsville, a little coal mining town west of Bowen. Townsville, which was Townsville Bowls Club, which was right on the Strand in Townsville, a small club there. And Suburban. It wasn't until 1954 that we actually had to go to sections. It was split into 2 sections. Ayr, Home Hill, Suburban, Charters Towers, Jubilee, North Ward, which is no longer in existence, Noola, Ingham, Hewenden, Bowen, Cutharinga, South Townsville and Townsville. They were the first of the clubs that played when we had to split into 2 sections. It's sad to see that some of those clubs are no longer in existence. Townsville, which was Townsville Bowls Club, no longer exist. North Ward no longer exist.
Bowen Services.
Bowen Services no longer exist.
Charters Towers.
Charters Towers, there's only 1 club in Charters Towers now. They amalgamated into 1. Richmond, who were in our district, they're no longer in our district. Mystic Sands is another club that are no longer in existence. And it's an indication of the change in times and changes in populations. But we were in a situation at one stage where we had 22 clubs, 22 active clubs playing in our district.
I think the most we ever had was 24, wasn't it? We had
There
24,
was,
but
there was a period of about 3 or 4 years we had 24 clubs.
yeah. And we dropped to 18, but we're back to 19
Back to
now with
19.
Home Hill
Yep.
coming back into it. So 2 clubs missing this weekend.
Purely because of
Just,
unavailability of players.
Yeah, workers, and just couldn't get people to commit to having 4 days off to be able to come down. And it's not just 4 days, you've got to get here, so most of them is 5 days.
Clubs like Hewenden, it's a 6-day trip.
Well, that's right. I mean, even though tomorrow's a public holiday here in Townsville,
It's not there.
it's not in Hewenden or anywhere else.
No.
So,
And even Bowen coming here, it's a 6-day journey.
yep, for the boys.
For the
they,
boys. Now they all work, so they've got to get time off.
Yep, that's right.
And even some of our home clubs here in Townsville itself, we've seen a classic example with young Justin Cribben. Their powerhouse skip for Jubilee was unavailable for 3 days. I'm not too sure whether Justin's back this morning or is he working this morning. So that's another day Justin couldn't get off work.
Okay, Ron,
great bowl there. Yep, it's picked up a 3.
Yep, we'll wait for those skips to finish this end, and then
while they're starting the new end.
Yeah, I've got some scores for the back.
Okay, so after 11 ends, so
Still
Maurice going to try and
holding
another
3.
One. Yeah, he's holding 3 at the moment.
Yep, indicated.
He's coming in nicely.
Yeah, his idea was just to finish behind. Murray's really got it on a string at the moment. He's playing well.
Okay, Wayne with his last bowl.
He's coming in now. He's going to be on the wrong side of it.
Okay. So
should be 3 to
3.
Air.
I don't think Murray's last bowl came into the count. 3. Okay. 3 shots. So after 11 ends, Air 25, Home Hill 1. Now, Muddy will give us an update.
Muddy will be back in a couple of minutes.
Some more housekeeping to be done. Right. An urgent signal. Muddy, we need you. So Muddy's the match chairman for North Queensland District. So both he and I are also controlling body this weekend, which is keeping us fairly busy. Our president, who's also working with us when he can between games, Michael Blake, is playing this weekend. And our vice president is also our district umpires coordinator, so he has been very busy this weekend with the umpiring as well. Okay, Sam is heading off to try and do something with his first bowl. Okay, we do have some scores here. I'm struggling to understand the hieroglyphics of the recorder of this. Muddy has got it worked out, so I'll leave it until he gets back to give an update on the scores on the back green. Okay, Alex Bojack. Alex has played reasonably well this morning. I believe he's only a fairly new bowler. Yeah, Sam's adjusted well, corrected well there, sitting jack high. Alex with his second bowl. Now, Alex looked as if he punched that into the green a little bit, so he's got a nice track. Just fractionally short of a gallop. A little bit tight on the grass he took, but again, fairly good correction. Okay, Colin Essex for Air, playing his first bowl as number 2. Yeah, happy with it, but he's run across a fair way. He tightened that up. Wayne indicating to Mick McCloskey he wants him on the backhand. It's just a little bit short of a gallop. Must be about 1.5 meters shy. So Collins corrected his grass. He'll swing across and come just inside of Alec Bojack's bowl. So Air holding 1 at the moment. McCloskey with his second bowl. Just ran across the head. Just cut the grass a little bit. Just a fraction too much weight. Okay, Trevor Elton, third for Air, playing his first bowl. A nice track. He's coming swinging in now. Just the way, yes, as Maury Power could possibly hear in the background, it was just his weight. Trevor Elton. be a little bit tight here. He's played a handy little bowl there. Nice bowl there from Trevor. Anthony Ball with his second bowl. Did we solve all the administration problems then?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes, I've... sorry I keep ducking off, mate. As you know, my job, wear a few different hats. So... Okay, so before I got called away, I had I've got some scores to give for the back green. After 11 ends, Alligator Creek 17, Brandon 6. So Alligator Creek doing everything they need to
get to the final,
to stay in the hunt. After 11 ends, Guru 13, South Townsville 5. Again,
that's
one of the
minnows playing one of the powerhouses.
Yes, that's where the little gremlin's gone, I think.
Yeah, well, maybe. We haven't heard the other scores yet.
After 9 ends, Jubilee 13, Nula 10. After 11 ends,
that could be regarded as a bit of an upset too.
Yes,
because
Nula.
Yeah,
that's almost the front runners.
Yep.
Cutharinga after 11 ends. Cutharinga 12, Tharangouwer 8.
Okay, so Tharangouwer closed the gap there.
Yes, by a couple of shots.
That's a game that's with either
could
of those can go either way,
yes.
And it could come down to margin there.
It will come down to margin.
Yep.
That on after 11 ends, Bowen 18, Magnetic Island 8.
So Bowen's doing everything
they need to do, and they're in front, and South Townsville's behind.
Yep.
So, not that it's over yet, but Bowen in a box seat there at the moment.
They're doing themselves
no harm.
No harm whatsoever. No.
We have after 9 ends, Suburban playing McNade. McNade 14, Suburban 9. And after 11 ends, Wangaratta 14, Ingham 7.
Right, okay.
So, some interesting results there at this stage.
And the Bowen boys, considering they're camped in little tents at the back here at Jubilee Bowls Club.
Jubilee, they decided to camp here. They camped down at Alligator Creek too last year.
That's right. But they're a little bit more...
set up last year. I think they had a van or a caravan or something last year. So
this year they've only got these little one-man tents.
Yeah, they're swags.
They're swags. So more power to them. It's great to see.
Probably looking forward to go home and sleeping in a bed. I know I would be.
Well, I definitely know Gus Munro is. He was saying to me yesterday afternoon he won't be sorry to get home on Monday.
Yep. Yeah, swags can be, Robbie, but I love sleeping in a bed and 16 degrees aircon.
But have you seen the size of their little tents out there? They can just enough room for a person to squeak in there.
Yep. I don't think you can turn around inside of it.
No,
so you got to go in feet first to come out head first.
Well, the big boys
tried to
set that one out.
Yep.
But the big boys definitely would struggle to move around at all. Okay,
so that was another one to home to air. Oh, was it 2? Was it
2? Maury will tell us for sure. If you want to stick your head out, Muddy, and ask him.
Yep, 2.
Okay, 2 to air, which takes air after 12 ends to 25. Home hill still on 1.
No, that'd be now. Sorry, Ron. 27.
27. Sorry, I apologise.
27 1 after 12.
Yep.
So, mate, the way we stand at the moment, it's still in Section 1.
Open.
It's still open. Section 2, at this stage, it would be Bowen playing this afternoon. But again,
starting to look that way.
Still, they've only played 11 and 9 ends, so
only halfway.
They're only halfway mark, but that's as we speak at this stage. So, long way to go. It's only half a game.
Okay, another great start from Sam. Sam's playing a great game this morning.
Obviously loves the TV.
Yep.
Or showing off, one of the two.
I heard him ring his wife this morning to say, I'm on.
Yep, I'm on TV, love. Watch me, watch me, watch me. No, look, these guys are playing. They are playing well.
Yeah.
As I said, even Home Hill, that even though the scoreline is a blowout, they're not. It's not like they're playing terrible.
No. No.
And they're out there trying for their club, so it's a credit to them for what they're doing.
Yes, most certainly. Pride in their club, pride in their colours, and pride in themselves.
Yep. Wearing their shirt with, as you say, dead set pride, and glad to be here and supporting them. I've spoke to them most mornings, and mate, they're happy they're here. They're happy they were invited.
Yep.
As I said to them, now that you're back in with NQ and you're part of our district, you're entitled to play in any event as long as you nominate.
That's right. Nice second bowl there from Sam.
Yep.
He's keeping the pressure on.
And as we've said, you know, you get a lead who makes
It's the leads and
does a
seconds
job like that.
Yep.
There you go. That's not a bad try. Just maybe a foot and a half short, but he was in the area.
Yep. As all the good coaches and all the good pundits will tell us, it's the leads and seconds just that make the determination over who wins the game. It's the thirds and skips that decide by how much you win or lose.
Yeah, and this afternoon we'll have our 12th winner for the Rink Shield.
Yep.
That will...
Matty, you've been winner of that twice.
Oh, mate, I was... Yeah, as
You
I
were the
said,
first winner of the Shield. And
then I won it in 2021.
21. So
Yeah, mate.
an eight-year span between the two. And I still remember the presentation when Ren presented to you last time. He was shaking his head in total amazement. He said, Muddy's doing everything he wouldn't expect anybody to do. He's dropping his bowls from his hip, sometimes thinking about throwing them over the head. But you're a deserved winner that year, Muddy.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, it's the knees.
Well, it depends who you were talking to.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Ren couldn't believe what he was seeing.
But yeah, it was a great game that year.
Yeah, well, you weren't favourites under any circumstances that year.
No, we weren't even considered to be in
the final.
Maybe in the contention for the final.
No.
But the four of us, there was Sean Anderson, myself, Mark Hawkins and Jack Davidson. We went through undefeated in our section. And then, of course, we got the chocolates against Gary and the boys at Tharangao that afternoon.
Great try.
I played second.
That's indication of what's happening with Home Hill. They're just
scooting
past and just missing out.
Yeah. And as I say, for that year, Ron, I played second and won the Shield. The first year I ever won it, I skipped that side.
Yep.
And so you can win you look at some of the names that have won it. Myself, I was a skip the first year, 2013. Jeff Ryder in 2014, he skipped that side for Tharangao. Then Doug Kleinehan won it for 2015. He played third that year for... it was
Suburban.
here.
The Jubilee.
Was it Jubilee?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he played the Jubilee that year.
He played third that year. Then Gary Costigan won it in 2016, and he skipped that side.
Yep.
Mark Edwards won it in 2017.
Played lead.
And he played lead for Suburban. Steve Jocelyn, he
played two.
He played two, and he was for Tharangao.
Yep.
And in that particular year, Tharangao didn't actually win the Dunn Cup.
No, that was when Ren decided to change
it to yes.
He admitted that yes, Steve Jocelyn was the best player of the final, but he felt that the player of the final should come from the winning team.
So yeah, it got changed after that year. Then Brian Roper, he played third for Suburban.
Yep.
Phil Kite, anyone who knows Phil, he's from Ingham area.
And he played third.
He played third. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it here this weekend because of a family crisis. Our thoughts go out to Phil. I hope everything's right with you, mate. our commiserations for you at this time.
Again, just
Yeah,
although
that's
that
was unlucky there, that bowl. Yep, just.
But it was his own. Well, it wasn't his own bowl that went through. But
Yeah, no,
it was his black bowl. That was his.
He's knocked it, but I don't think he's knocked it far enough to get shot.
No. 21 was
21
you,
myself. I played
as a
second. Then Tom Hendy, he was a lead for Alligator Creek. And last year, Dave Wells.
Again, another lead.
Another lead.
For Jubilee.
Jubilee, so it's been a mixture. Skips leads, a second, a couple of thirds.
Yep.
So this afternoon, I'm sure that, not that it'll be on every player's mind, the job is to do it for your club and to try and get a team win. And if you happen to be the winner of that trophy, that's just a bonus.
Yeah. Alex Bojack's bowl didn't quite. It's possibly need another roll.
Another roll, yeah, at least.
But again, they're just missing that little bit of final touch and finesse.
Yep.
But as I said earlier, they're when I spoke to them this morning, they were more than happy being here. And they all said we've learned a lot this weekend.
Yep.
They'll go away, and
they were tickled pink when they found out they were on the TV, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely over the moon.
Well, they were checking each other out this morning, making sure their hair was combed.
Yep. Got their lippy on, their makeup. And no, look, these guys have they've tried hard. And that's all you can expect from if you're the president of Home Hill Bowls Club sitting back there, your boys have done extremely well. They've tried hard. They've turned up every day.
They look good in their uniforms.
They're giving it their best. They might not have all the wins under their belt, but winning's not.
They'll do better as the years go by.
Yep. Maurice just still got it.
Yep. It's where you wanted it, but not as I thought.
Not where you wanted it, yeah. So,
yeah.
But Wayne could come down now, set his own black bowl, push the orange out.
Push Sam's out,
if he doesn't touch the kitty, and make a couple of shots here.
Could do.
Not that I'm an expert, but...
And again, to our sponsors, Townsville City Council, J-Cell Electrical.
Got the weight, he's going to be close, but...
TK Power and Air.
No.
Glen Carroll Painting. Multicom Communications Experts. North Queensland District Men's Bowls Association. Jubilee Sports Club. And Galavanta Travels. Again, we acknowledge you and we thank your participation in this event. And also, we'd be remiss in not sending our appreciation to Gold Coast-Tweed Media Team, who help in a huge way to promote this event. And as I mentioned a bit earlier, we've already booked Robbie and his team in for next year. He's got it in the calendar.
He's got it on his calendar. Yeah, I can see. That must be your calendar there, is it, Robbie? That's your calendar, and is it straight after the Glass House again? Sorry? Yes, it is. Yep. Okay, so...
Another long trip for Robbie next year.
It's a nice little drive just up the road.
Yeah, just up the road. Yeah, 16 hours.
Greg Duppelchain. Nice, says Greg. Nice to have you on board. Hope you're enjoying the coverage of this game. It is a little bit one-sided, but they are two of our minnows in the district, and there's a lot at stake for both these clubs. They're rival clubs, one on one side of the Burdican River and the other on the other. As we call it, the Battle of the Bridge.
Simon Potter sent me a message. Simon, g'day mate, how are you?
Simon,
morning,
how are you?
Morning, Muddy and Ron. What time is the final on? Mate, we expect around that 1:30 mark. Look, it's hard to give you an exact time.
If you can get your crystal ball going, Simon, and it tells you something, let us know, because as you could possibly remember from your days here, we always if possible, like to get underway with the final no later than 1:30 if we can. But again, that's depending on the finishes of this round. Again, no time limit, 21 ends. And if a couple of those games tighten up on the back green, those in contention, it could get stretched out if players decide to start killing ends. Nice bowl here from Alex.
Yes.
And that's what I was referring to before. You know, they're controlling themselves and their bowls fairly well. You know, you get the odd one that goes a bit astray. And most of them are correcting very well. This one's zipping through a little bit at the back. You can see.
No worries, Simon, mate. We're happy to help. We'll try and keep everyone updated, and we've got scores coming again. The umpires have just grabbed the score charts off me to go over and do a check for me on the back green.
Okay, Mick McCloskey with his first bowl. Mick's a little bit tight on this. He's pinched his grass.
Yep.
A pretty good weight. Just pinched his grass. Look, that would have been a great bowl if he'd have got his line properly.
Simon's just said I'm on night shift. I'll have to set my alarm. Yeah, mate, totally understand. I know. Yeah.
Okay, Colin Essex. Great adjustment there. Nice adjustment. Colin.
Rosemary Robertson has just commented here on Home Hill are playing well, just unlucky with some of their shots.
Can only agree.
Will be interesting to see them play next year. Rosemary, you are 100% correct, love.
Yep.
But these guys will take so much out of this. They'll obviously start playing in a lot more comps and be involved in pennants, money competitions, more bowls at their own club. The Burdican, the same as the Ingham area, they play a round robin little pennants amongst themselves. Again, just in their area, down in the Burdican, they have 3 clubs. 2 of them here on show, Ayr, Home Hill, and the other one is Brandon. They're all within 10-15 minutes of each other. And there's a great bowl there, just sliced it straight over.
And made Sam the lucky recipient of that.
So, yes, you're dead right. The more these guys play,
we're quite impressed with the Muddy.
Yeah, as I said, that it's just, I mean, the scoreline does not reflect on how they're playing.
No.
You know, it's...
the luck's not going their way.
No.
The rub's not quite going their way.
And they certainly haven't been dropping huge numbers every end.
No.
You know, 13 ends.
They had one bad end where they dropped a 5, but that's about the worst of it.
They've dropped, lots of 1s and a couple of 2s and all that. So they can walk away with their heads held high after this weekend and go, we tried our best, we came and they've walked away with a win.
Came sore but didn't quite conquer.
And if anyone's querying maybe why isn't one of the front runners on the TV rink, we have a policy that anyone in contention to play in the final cannot play on the final rink in the morning. So the first thing Ron and I do when we go to a club every year for Dunn Cup, grab that club and say which rink is your best or which rink do you want the final played on, so we know come Sunday morning that anyone in contention cannot play on that rink.
That's right. We don't even do rink allocations until the night before.
So yes, Ron and I were mad at last night at 9:30, 10 o'clock, sitting there doing rinks for who's playing where today to sort it all out for today's play.
As we had a situation where no one from Section 2 would even remotely look like playing on this show rink this morning, because the 4 clubs in contention there were playing the 4 other clubs, so that was never going to happen.
Yep. And as we said, Ron, we've never had this in our...
Not in my memory.
We've never had it this hard before where, yes, it could be a count back on shots for and against on a club maybe making the final in Section 1.
Yeah, but to be in a situation where we've got eight clubs vying for 2 positions, in my memory in 20 years with Dunn Cup, I cannot recall us being in this situation.
No.
And it's great.
Oh.
I think it's marvellous.
Okay, so whilst we'll just let those boys finish, and then I do have some updates on some scores from the back, which will be getting to the pointy end of the stick, 2/3 of the way through the game.
It's come down to the ends that count now. Well, all ends count, but okay.
So let's see what Murray can do here. He's played some great bowls. Again, even the Air Bowls Club that haven't probably had a fantastic result, they're playing extremely well here on this TV rink.
This rink, yeah.
And
which we regarded up until this morning as possibly one of the hardest rinks to be playing on.
yeah, because it is drawing well on both hands.
It's a completely different rink today from the previous days.
Probably a good second, 2 seconds quicker than it has been when it first started off. This is only the second time we've had to use the shade cover. Second game.
Yep. And the shades will be retracted for
before
the
the start of the final. That's correct, yeah.
Yes, it's highly likely we could be playing up until 6 o'clock or even into the final this afternoon.
And as you know, Ron, our final is 25 ends, no time limit.
No time limit.
So they've taken one out, and I think that's all Air's going to get there. Oh, he's going to measure that between that back red and that front black bowl there.
Yeah, Anthony's going to try and maximise what he can get. And as we said, this is still all critical. Just the 1, 2, 2.
Not even measuring the front. No. Okay, so there you go. It was deceiving on the TV. I thought the front black bowl. But anyway, 2 shots to Air, takes it out to 30 to 1 after 14 ends. So some scores from the back. After 13 ends, Alligator Creek 20, Brandon 10. So again, Alligator Creek still doing everything they need to keep their hopes alive to possibly playing this afternoon. After 14 ends, Guru 16, South Townsville 7. So,
excuse me?
Yes, you heard me. I didn't stutter. After 14 ends, Guru 16, South Townsville 7.
Now,
so
that's a huge score there for Guru.
That's massive.
Guru was possibly one of our smallest clubs in amongst the cane fields.
Yes.
And they would barely have been able to get 4 players on the park.
Well, they were struggling.
Yep. They've got 4 of their own players. They've possibly only got maybe 8 or 9.
They've got a dual member playing for them.
Yeah,
who's a member of. It's still a member of their club.
Yep, that's right.
Yep. But anyway,
that's a huge result.
They're obviously playing well.
Yeah.
After 12 ends, we have Jubilee 17 over Noola 10.
Interesting.
So Jubilee doing everything they can to try and stay in the hunt.
They're going to rely on percent.
They need margin. That's right. Jubilee unfortunately lost a couple yesterday, but still in there trying their hardest. So after 14 ends, Cutharinga 18, Tharangoa 9. So Cutharinga's still doing everything they need to do to try and stay in the hunt.
Cutharinga at the moment are looking fairly comfortable to sneak into the final, but again
only 14 ends played, so still a long way to go.
Yep.
After 13 ends, Bowen doing everything right, 18 to Magnetic Island 10. So Maggie doing everything Bowen doing everything they need to stay in the hunt.
And Guru doing Bowen some huge
favours by keeping South Townsville
Quiet,
under
yeah.
yes. And very quickly we have, after 11 ends, McNaid 14, Suburban 11. And after 15 ends, Wangaratta 18 over Ingham 12. So
another big
that's
upset heading that way.
Yes, that's correct.
Because Ingham were still potentially in the hunt.
Yes,
depending on the results of other games.
They needed things to maybe go their way. And
so now you did mention this Alligator Creek score. What was that again?
Alligator Creek is up by 10. They are 20-10 over Brandon.
Right, so...
But what Alligator Creek needed both Bowen and South Townsville to lose. At this stage, they've got one of their hopes alive.
Yep.
But Bowen is in front by 8 over Magnetic Island so far, but they've only played 13 ends. So Alligator Creek's hopes are not totally dashed. They're still in the hunt for a possibility.
Possible. That's right.
And as we said, in this game, where if there's a possibility, anything can happen.
Well, I was just looking behind you, Muddy. The Gremlin's got out of his box. So he's obviously out there on the green wandering around somewhere, trying to decide where he's going to strike.
Yep. And I think South Townsville wouldn't be happy. He might be down there.
He could be looking over somebody's shoulder there.
Yeah, that's right.
We joke about the gremlin, the Dunn Cup gremlin, but history has proved us right. Every year there is some sting in the tail somewhere, more often than not on the last day, on the last round. But we've already seen him jump out of the box and create a little bit of havoc on 2 days already this year.
Yes, that's correct. You never know what's going to happen, where it's going to strike, who's going to fall when they shouldn't, or...
That's right.
Again, it's a game of bowls. It ain't over until the big girl sings.
That's right. Well, I would like to be in the position of Bowen at the moment. And I'd also like to be in the position of Katharinga. They maintain that lead.
Yes,
They're going to go very close to making it to the final.
As you know, that's my club and my team. Being their manager, I did say to them, guys, I love your chances. I think you can play well. They lost one game by 1, and they lost on the TV game here to Jubilee by
3, I think
5 or something. I think it was 5 or 6. It was only a small margin. So they've played well. They've hung in. As I said to them, you're not out of it. You just got to maybe hope a couple of things go your way, and they do. They needed Nuala to lose, and they have to beat Tharangower. So if that happens, it could see the Rhinos on the TV this half.
Yes, that's correct.
My little prediction, as we all sat around this morning and with some of all the players and that, and of course I, as players and spectators, we all gave some opinions, and I of course obviously picked my own team, as most do, and I picked Bowen.
Yes, but Bowen were looking good, and they've been playing well all
brothers,
4 days.
And I know that the boys are camping here, so every night when we've knocked off doing all our paperwork and finished up, and Robbie's packing all his gear up, we've gone in for a hot cup of coffee, if you believe that. The boys have been there and supported Jubilee, and as you said before, they're camping here.
They're sleeping out there.
Yeah, I don't know how much sleep they're getting, but they'd be good security guards just to leave inside the clubhouse.
You're not wrong.
No one's going to get in there with...
One of those boys comes flying out of the tent, you wouldn't want to be anywhere close to them.
Yeah, that's right. As we
Okay.
said, most of those games up the back still got, 7, 8 ends to go.
So it's still wide open at this
Still
stage.
wide open at this stage. No one's home and hose.
So we're here on the show rink. After 14 ends, air are 30 and home hill 1. Now we do expect all teams to play out the 21 ends because it comes down to positioning for next year.
That's right, yes.
Because we take the positions that every team finishes to determine the sections.
Now, Robbie, I know you can't just put something on a screen straight away, but in the Dunn Cup, mate, we have a special 8 badge that we had made. D for Dunn, of course. I don't know, are you able to so we could showcase that on our streaming is there any way that you might be able to show people? One, we still give eight badges in normal competitions up here in the north, in pennants. Anything that we as NQ run, if someone picks up an 8, we give out an 8 badge. But in this particular case, we've got a special one made. It's an 8 badge, but it's in the shape of a D for Dunn Cup, with the 8 in the middle. So I'm just going to see if Robbie's able to do something for us, and we might be able to showcase.
So I didn't see
it
what
is.
that was. 2. 2 to air. So after 15 ends, air moved on to 32, home hill 1.
Oh, okay. Robbie's going to
Zipping off to...
zipping over there. Okay, but it's not focused, Robbie. It's there. No, you need to go out even further. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. No, it's not focusing
It's not
in
focusing.
on it. Okay, one of us has got to hold it. I'll
Okay, you go, big fella. All right, we'll send the big boy out. Okay, we've got, just bear with us for a sec. Robbie's trying to get something underway with this badge. Down, Muddy. Okay, there we go. Yep, hold it. Thanks for that, Robbie. It's just something a little bit unique again to this tournament. And as we have said on a couple of times, this event to the clubs in the district is sacred. We as North Queensland District cannot make any changes to this event whatsoever unless we get full agreement from the clubs, and that comes about at our annual AGM. And in 20 years of my association with the Dunn Club, we have only ever been able to secure 2 changes to the actual way this event is run. And whilst people may be a little bit disbelieving, a great bowl there from Alex, one of those changes was to allow players to play in shorts. And at that time, everybody was playing in white trousers. As you could possibly appreciate, this particular part of the country, it was ludicrous that we were forcing all players to be wearing long whites. So the clubs themselves managed to get together and have a few discussions before the AGM and then put a motion forward to allow shorts to be worn. Okay.
Yeah, Ron, so just showing that Dunn Cup 8 badge off. As I said, it's a unique thing. The D with the word cup down the side in black, and the 8 in the middle. It's on a pin. One of the teams, and it's the Bowen boys.
Bowen boys.
They've picked up an 8 this morning. We were informed by the umpire.
Yep.
So happy to present these before the final this afternoon.
And they'll be even happier to receive it.
Yep. I've been lucky enough to get a few of these in my time. So, yeah, well done to the Bowen boys.
Okay.
Thanks for doing that, Robbie. Muchly appreciate, mate. That, yep, just to showcase off something for us that we do. Oh, okay, yeah, good. Thank you.
Okay. Again, a very unlucky rub. Pushed air in for shot. One of our friendly wildlife having a look around to see what all the fuss is about. Left a small deposit on the green. A lot of our clubs, we have local homegrown magpies, and they enjoy getting out in the green, especially wandering across the green whilst bowls are coming through. Play dodgem cars with the magpies. The exception of Cutharinga Bowls Club, where they seem to attract all the wild magpies that terrorise the population.
Rightio, thank you. Yep, okay.
Right, air holding one shot with that front bowl at the moment, that front green bowl.
Manny Anton has said go home Hill. Yes?
Yes, go home Hill.
They're
playing well. They're
Yeah.
just not getting the rub, and they're just that slight fraction out most of the time.
This is a home Hill bowl coming in
coming
here.
in. As is the.
Yep.
Now there's two good bowls from
Their third.
their third, Trevor Elton.
Okay, so as they're crossing over,
Okay, while
There's-
they're crossing over, that's a rundown of the players
and all their teams.
in all their teams. There are a few minor changes to some of the teams. We've lost a couple of players through illness and injury.
Yep, and work commitments
Work
and all
commitments.
that. So if you look in section 2 there, Bowen, second team, Jason Wright, Mitchell Wright, Wayne Crowhurst and Gus Munro. They are the winners of the 8 badge. Well, reciprocants of an 8 badge. Picked up an 8 in the game so far this morning. So well done to those boys.
So those that have the capacity, if you'd like to take a screenshot of that while it was up.
We can always get, if anyone wants it, we can always get it up again for you.
It is on our Facebook page. It was placed on our Facebook page last night, Muddy.
Oh, okay, yes, yeah, that's right. Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yep, okay, yep.
You know, the smart ones with the technology and the knowledge
Yep.
can do all sorts of things with the live stream that they receive.
Okay, so we'll just wait for those skips, and I have got some updates, which,
Okay, blowouts.
yes, possibly. It depends which way you look at it.
Do I want to know?
Well, I'm happy, put it that way.
It tells me a story.
If that's any indication of biased.
It
but
tells me a story, yes.
yes,
Well, Muddy is a member of Cutharinga and their president and also their manager of their team. I am a member of Thuringowa. So we have a sort of split loyalty here at the moment. That was another reason why we decided to do live stream this bowl, so we'd be completely unbiased.
yep.
Okay, give me the bad news, Muddy.
Okay, hang on. We'll see this ball come down first. Give Wayne... Yeah, again, Wayne's line is good.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just going to duck under at the last minute. Like, you couldn't try any harder. That's, you know, they're still trying, even though the score is a blowout. That's
Just the one.
a great try.
One
Okay,
to
so
air.
1 to air.
So they're heading towards the end of their game. So it's starting their 17th end, 4 ends to go. Give me the bad news,
Okay,
Muddy.
so after 15 ends, Alligator Creek 21, Brandon 11.
Okay,
So
there.
Alligator Creek still doing everything they need to.
Yep.
After 16 ends, Garoo 17, South Townsville 11. So they've closed the gap a little bit, but
yep.
only 5 ends to go, 6 behind. We know Steve Motton and his boys, we seen it yesterday, they'll still be trying right to that last bowl. After 14 ends, Jubilee 20, Noola 13. So Jubilee up over Noola, which is obviously
7-shot
Yep.
lead. How many ends to go there?
7 ends still to go. So
Okay, still plenty of time.
Yep. After 16 ends, Cutharinga 22, Tharangower 9. So
It's not looking good for Thuringower to
No.
make the final.
um,
They had to win,
yes, that's correct.
or if they didn't win, they could afford to lose by
2 or 3.
3 shots. That
Yep.
was all.
After 15 ends, Bowen 21 over Magnetic Island 12. So Bowen doing everything right to stay in the hunt.
Yep.
After 14 ends, McNaid 14, Suburban 16.
Okay, so
been a
Suburban's...
Change in the guard there.
Yeah. Well,
And-
Suburban has to rely on other results.
Results, yeah, and unfortunately now
It's
with
not going
both,
their way there.
both Jubilee and Cutharinga in front, their chances are almost gone. And on the last one over there, after 17 ends, Wangaratta 18, Ingham 14. Oh, there's a great bowl there. Look at that.
Yeah,
That's
nice bowl
that's
from Sam. Sam's done that several times
Yep,
this morning.
He's been so consistent.
and
again,
when
as we said,
when
you
he's
know,
missed,
you-
his correction has been immaculate.
Yep. So, mate, we at this stage, just over
Nice bowl
2.
from Alex Spojak too. Great bowl from
Throw
Alex.
that kitty. Now that's a
brilliant,
cracker.
brilliant bowl.
Yep.
And Alex has played
And
well this morning
fist
too.
bump, you beauty. Good on you, mate. That's a great way to be finishing the game. Still a few ends to go, but you know,
And he's played well this
Yep.
morning too.
even that.
Well, they've all played well.
Yep.
you know.
Even though
Gotta
the
hand it to
scores out there, they're still happy and still trying with every bowl they play.
Yes, if we didn't have that graphic at the top with the scores, people watching the game would possibly
Yeah.
have a different aspect of what's going on.
That's correct.
Okay, Steve Nillerstein. G'day, gents. What about the semi-finals that started in 2019 and finished in 2019? Well, you've hit the nail on the head there, Steve. That was something that was trialled for that year and that year only, and was deemed to be unsuccessful.
The
And the clubs then decided that was not to occur again.
There's another great bowl by Home Hill.
Well, yep.
That was mixed bowl. That's so yeah, Steve. As Ron said, that they all thought it was a good idea to trial it. All the clubs voted for it. They played it that one year. They liked the concept, but then when it came to the AGM, mate, they all got together and they decided, no, let's just play
Just
a straight.
Again, it's a sacred event for the clubs. Whilst they might think some changes may or may not be worth trying, I say in 20 years we've only had 2 changes to the Dunn Cup.
Yep.
One being shorts, and the other being that you can no longer have a drawn game. You must play it out to a result.
Yep. So there is no draws.
There is no draws.
And then they tried the semi-final final.
Yep.
And of course they were both played on Sundays. So unfortunately what it meant, and I think this is where most clubs thought it wasn't a good idea, that if the competition finished Saturday night, come Sunday, the host club unfortunately only had 4 teams there.
That's right.
Unless someone hung around to come and watch. But as
Big bowl here.
That's
a huge bowl.
cracker.
Bloody beautiful, says Murray.
Yeah. 2 down to 1 up, and he's sitting almost right on that kitty.
The good old Australian vernacular.
Yeah. So yeah, mate. So we tried it, and
but again, as you may or may not be aware, Steve, Dunn Cup can only be affected or changed by the clubs. We have no say in that at all.
there's a great try too. Look at that. I mean, look
at the head.
Yeah, there's 7 bowls there within a T-tails distance. You could cover them with a bath mat.
Yep.
So that's great bowls by both teams. That's nothing to be sneezed at, nothing to be laughed at. No matter of the scoreline, both teams still trying their hardest for their club, which is, from my point of view, is a bowler and a...
What it's all about,
yep,
anyway.
You know, if they were my clubs, I would be over the moon. No matter of the scoreline.
And just carrying on a little bit with your question, Steve, if my memory serves me correctly, that semi-final system was set up with the winner of Section 1 playing the runner-up of Section 2 and vice versa. And it backfired. Because I think that particular year Bowen was one of the...
No, Brandon. Brandon had won their section.
Won their section and got cleaned up in the semi-final. That was a bit of a sting in the tail, so they decided that was never, ever going to occur again. That a club that led the section at the end of the sectional play was going to be bumped out by somebody who hadn't won the section.
That's right. So, and I think the biggest thing that most clubs thought of, you had to play an extra game on the first day.
Yep.
Not that that's a major issue.
No.
But, and again, not every year we've had every club play. So, if the whole 19 clubs come into it, we're going to have one section of 10 full teams, one section of 9 teams plus a bye.
Yep.
You've got 10 teams, so that's 9 games.
That's correct.
We play 1 on the Sunday, so you've got 3 on Saturday.
Three
Friday. 2 on the Thursday. Now, if we had a semi-final and then a final...
It's an extra game.
It's an extra game that you've got to throw in there somewhere. So... and I think for the host club, you deserve, here it is Sunday morning, every club still here. The place is absolutely chockers with spectators, supporters. So it gives the host club plenty of time to sell, liquid refreshments, some burgers,
Coffees.
Sausage, coffees, sausage rolls, whatever you have on offer for sale. So whilst I was in favour of the semi-final, I was in the receiving end of runners-up for years and years and years in your section. But I believe maybe just straight out final. You've got to be good enough to finish on top after 4 days.
Yes, and I say it was...
so there we have another one to...
It was a case of...
I think it's only one.
The leader of a section not even making the final. So,
yeah, that's right, yeah.
And the clubs didn't like that because they could all see ramifications.
I felt for Brandon that year.
Yeah.
they'd played extremely well for 3 days. And to be...
It's Catharinga being cheered
no,
on.
that was South Townsville,
Townsville
cheering. So
Okay.
when we get some scores, that may be a
Could
change
be
in the
subtle
guard
change
again.
there.
And there was a 6-shot margin going into today between South Townsville and Bowen. So
Yeah.
whatever South Townsville does, they were in front by 6. They had a margin of plus 42. Bowen was plus 36 before the start of this game today.
And no disrespect to South Townsville or any of the other clubs, but just the feeling talking to players this morning as they were coming in Section 2, the sentimental favourites were Bowen.
Yeah, that's right. The underdog, and I think Bowen was one of those clubs that's never ever won the Dunn Cup.
I don't think they have. I'll just have a
Um,
quick look at my...
yeah, I'm having a bow peep as well.
No, they haven't. They have never won the Dunn Cup.
I don't recall them ever being in a final, not in my time, and I go back to the 90s.
They've played in a few finals. They've been runners up a couple of times.
Might be
Because
back in the early
Gus
days.
could remember them being in finals before,
Okay.
so they've obviously been in them. And Gus would know, he's an old hand from down there. But when we look at the winners, no one south of Ayr or Home Hill have ever won the Dunn Cup. Wangaratta haven't. Collinsville. I don't think Collinsville have either. No.
No.
Bowen RSL.
Bowen Services, which is the
The
old
old RSL.
RSL club in Bowen.
Yep,
Bowen RSL club it was called.
Yep, that's right.
Bowen Services, 1964.
Yep.
So 60 year ago.
Yeah. Another nice one.
And Ron, I didn't notice, but the boys from Home Hill, one of them just standing next to us there, they've actually got their logo on their shorts. Did you see that?
Yes,
They,
I noticed that the other day.
I hadn't seen that until just now. They've actually got on your shorts. I see you've got Home Hill Bowls Club. Yep, with a
The
cane
cane fire.
fire. Yeah, we've seen your sponsors and that are on your shirts, but I didn't see what's on your pocket. You've actually got down there on your shorts as well. So
Well thought out.
well thought out. Just look a treat.
I
Yep.
wouldn't mind betting that Mark DiFrancesi had a little bit to do with the design of that.
Oh, that's your son's business? Oh, well done. They look good. Yous have done a great job.
Yeah, that it definitely looks like a Mark DiFrancesi-ism. When Muddy starts reading out these scores, his microphone is playing up a little bit, so we may
Mine
have
is.
to disconnect him. Yes, Muddy's is.
No, it's not playing up. No, they're all the same. No. The only score change is, and we only just read out the scores. Tharrangower did just pick up a 5, so the score comes back to 22-17 on 18.
So that's
So-
5-shot difference.
So it's a 5-shot
It's a
difference.
ball
It's
game
still
there.
a very, very close
Ball game there.
ball
so-
game.
So my home team definitely needs to pick up another multiple. Okay, Muddy's been called away again. A minor crisis happening. And just as by way of explanation, Catharinga was my old club. I moved to Thurringau, not for any reason of animosity, but Thurringau was basically just round the corner from where I live. And I was heavily involved in the administration at Cutharinga and got to a stage where I wasn't playing bowls. I was just doing administration. I wanted to get back into playing bowls, so I moved away from there. But historically, Cutharinga and Thurringau are not mortal enemies, but very, very, how should I put it, fierce competitors. And Thurringau Bowls Club, for whatever reason, has sort of adopted the same reputation as perhaps Collingwood Football Club. They're the club that everybody loves to hate. So it's always a bit of a grudge match situation when those two clubs get together. There's nothing ever nasty or spiteful regarding that, but it's just one of those things. Okay, we've definitely got a bit of a loose end this time. Air is holding one shot for sure. It's distance between all the others. So the umpires might be called out to bring their long tape out here. So this is the 18th end. 3 ends to go after completion of this end. And again, credit to the two teams here. They're getting through their game fairly quickly. Right, Maurice Power delivering his first bowl. Just running through a bit, Maurice. Yes. Hasn't worried the scorer with that one. Muddy's back now and about to. Okay, bit of administration going on in the background again with shortage of personnel. We all wear several hats. Okay, back to the game. And Wayne's last bowl, and is he going to be lucky this time? No, sadly. Again, it's just the roll of the dice here this morning with this game. I was just explaining about the attitudes of Thurringau and Cutharinga Muddy to our viewers, explaining how within the district Thurringau are possibly regarded as the Collingwood of the bowls up here. Love to be hated by all. But and the rivalry between Thurringau and Cutharinga over the years has been enormous.
Yes, it has, and we have played off
several times.
In one final that I was part of, which was a few years ago, 2021.
Yep.
And obviously we've had some big clashes over the years in the Dunn Cup.
Yep.
And obviously there's a massive clash going on as we speak on the back green now. So I know it's always played in good spirit, but at the end of the day, both teams obviously wanting to flog
the other one
with a stick. the other one. But look,
Yeah.
we're all mates at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
and it's
We
good to
all
see.
get together and have a
yeah,
beer
that's
and-
right. And that they'll have a drink with each other when the game's finished.
Yep.
Win, lose or draw. Well, you can't draw, but you know what I mean.
That's right.
And they'll all be out there trying for their clubs. So both teams obviously have a lot to play for. Tharangao sitting in the box seat with that extra win. So they only need to win, and they're straight into the final. Katharinga obviously have to beat them, so got to win and beat them by at least 5 shots.
That's
But
right.
then they're still hoping on Jubilee beating Noola.
Exactly, which is sort of underway at the moment.
Yep. But again, I've just been out the back doing some admin stuff that I had to do. There are some changes in scores. South Townsville's clawed their way right back on, and the umpires are getting me the scores now. And Bowen, Magnetic Island's caught up a little bit to Bowen, I'm told.
Okay.
So, mate, we'll give those scores out very, very shortly.
So Kirsty Grigg, if you're still with us, if you bear with us for a little while, we'll give you the latest up-to-date scores on those games.
And I'll have that within minutes, hopefully.
And Steve Nellerstein, yes, we'll be referring to Brandon. You did win all 7 games.
Yes. Yes, Steve was part of that team.
Yes, correct.
Yep. Now, Steve, who beat you on that semi-final? Because I don't remember who beat you. I know who the winner was that year. It was Suburban who won the comp. And I don't remember if they beat you in the morning, and if they did, that means they were runner-up in their section.
As well.
As I said, I don't remember who the two... I know there was you guys and Suburban, and I don't remember the other 2 teams. So, Steve, if you're out there and still listening, if you could let me know, please, I'd muchly appreciate it.
Kirsty will have that information for you very shortly.
Yes, Weeksy is walking around as we speak, getting some scores. So, I'm sure everyone's
Yeah, another nice bowl.
waiting with anticipated breath on some results,
From
as we all are. So,
Colin Essex there with a nice bowl to come up with the shot. He's only about a foot shy of the kitty with that bowl.
yeah, it's closer than it looks on TV. It's
Okay.
Yes, I can see Weeksy, Tony Weeks, one of the umpires, walking around getting those scores. He's just down to the bottom end of the
Nice.
green now, so
Another
a-
nice bowl there from Colin
yep,
Essex.
just slipped on through. So,
Just
yep,
slipped through a little bit.
Home Hill holding 2 though. So, doing what's required.
Okay. So back to this game, playing the 19th end. The dying stages of the game. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Murray just telling his team he's only one
Yeah.
down now with that last bowl, so the purple bowl obviously just behind Jack Eyer's shot.
It's Mick McCloskey's bowl.
His lines, I think he's a little bit underdone here, Ron.
Yeah.
Unless he sits that red.
Gets
He
a
wants
walk.
to set it on the right side though. Yeah,
And
he
he's
has.
done it. That's the way to do it.
Yep. So they'll be holding 2 or 3 now, Home Hill.
Exactly. Nice bowl there from Trevor Elton.
Yep.
Anthony Ball with his bowl. He's got a nice line here.
See if he's got the weight though.
It's just no, just fell away. Nice try.
Definitely 1 down, maybe 2.
Yep.
As in Home Hill on the mat now. They're holding.
They're holding shot.
He's got better grass this time compared to his first one.
He's going to hang though, I think. Muddy.
I think that'll start to draw. I don't know if he's got the
weight.
weight for it to
He's
draw.
He's lost the
Yeah.
weight. Unfortunately.
He needed the same weight that he had earlier.
Now here's a lovely situation where we've got the South Townsville. Is she a South Townsville member?
That is Mark DeFrancisi's wife,
Yes.
Jocelyn.
Well, I can understand the attachment now. She's very vocally cheering Home Hill, but she is a member of South Townsville, married to Mark DeFrancisi. So Mark was, and still is, I believe, a long-standing member of Home Hill Bowls Club. He's a dual member there now. So there would be a very close affinity between Mark's wife and the Home Hill players.
Yep.
And it's nice to see an opposition team shirt supporting Home Hill.
She's just telling us, she's listening to us. I just heard, yep, she's waving and yeehaw.
That's
good
the
on
way.
you, good on you, Jocelyn. And look, Jocelyn and Mark, they live not far from Home Hill Bowls Club.
That's right.
So, you know, their loyalties are probably with both clubs. Love, obviously, Home Hill. That's where they reside. There's Jocelyn.
Jocelyn,
We've
yes.
just had her on screen. Okay, here comes our umpire with some up-to-date scores.
So, Kirsty,
Rightio. So, for all those that want to know, just hang on. I'll keep you in anticipation. Wait for those couple of bowls to be played. And I can tell you, as things are looking very, very close at the pointy end of the stick. Oh, Jocelyn there waving the arms around and yep, getting excited.
if Home Hill maintain their hold on this end, I suspect we'll really hear it from Jocelyn.
Yes, she's waving. Yep, come on, keep these two shots.
She's warming her voice up.
Yeah. I think she's wishing Murray to miss, but starting to go away, is he? Or has he got the kitty?
He doesn't want to touch
got
the kitty.
Oh.
He could have touched that kitty because it would have come back to his bowls.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Jocelyn is cheering. Look at that. She's
Maurice's last bowl.
Now, don't touch the kitty.
So this is just an example of how excited people can get
Oh, look,
when they're supporting. She loves this bowl because she knows it's going to be short.
Can the general people see that up in the screen, or is that just us?
Yeah, no, they can see
Oh,
that.
everyone can see that. Yep. How many we got? Look, so there's Jocelyn wearing a South Townsville Bowl shirt, but look at her, she's going mad.
It's great to see. Didn't want that measure to come out.
Yep, but look, they've taken one out, haven't they?
Yep.
No, they haven't taken any out yet.
Yeah, that's the where the cloth is. That's the shot.
This is another one. That's
two.
Oh, there you go. For those that can hear, maybe through the Home Hill have got another two.
Okay, well done.
Okay.
Well done, Home Hill.
And someone's got their. Is that Kirsty Gregg you're talking about? Yes, it is.
Yep.
So Wim, yes, that is Kirsty Gregg. Okay.
So
some scores after 18 ends. Alligator Creek 27, Brandon 11. After 19 ends, South Townsville 15, Garoo 19. So really brought that back. It's still a couple of ends to go, but they are 4 behind. After 17 ends, Jubilee 22, Noola. Sorry about that. Jubilee 22, Noola 16. That was after 17 ends. After 19 ends, so only 2 ends to go, Cutharinga 23, Tharangower 17. So a margin of 6.
6 shots there.
Bowen, after 19 ends, 22. Magnetic Island, 17. So Magnetic Island have
closed the gap
there. After 18 ends, McNaid, 18. Suburban, 16. So again, a change in the guard there. And after 19 ends, Wangaratta, 21. Ingham, 15. So
it hasn't been a happy hunting ground for
No.
Ingham this year.
So just
And they were one of the teams we expected to do extremely well.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I think they are. I mean, whilst they've played some great bowls, and we've seen them on TV yesterday, Stan Richards, who was the reserve who came into that team, he played extremely well. Maybe missing Phil Kite.
Well, they would be missing Phil because Phil's one of their top players. Meanwhile, on show court, Air and Home Hill on their 20th end. Air 36, Home Hill increased their score, are now 3.
Okay, hot off the press, Ron.
No, I don't want to know.
Hot off the press.
I can tell by your voice.
This is section 2.
Yeah. Oh, section 2.
We just yelled out after 19 ends, Bowen 22, Magnetic Island 17. I can tell you after 20 ends, it is 22 all. Maggie has just picked up a 5.
Okay.
Really has. That will come down now to the last end. Just.
Okay, minor crisis outside on green 2, which Muddy's had to attend to. Yeah, Muddy was talking to the skip of his team, and I deliberately tried to shut off from that Robbie. It's something he's got to control himself. But the tensions would be very high out there at the moment. I can understand what it can be like. There's a lot at stake with this tournament. To say it's the prestige tournament for the district, and it's a sacred cow for all clubs. Great bowl there. And when it gets tight, such as it is this morning, and can go any 4 ways, tension really does come into it. And yeah, it's understandable. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so back to the game here. While Muddy's still out trying to resolve the issues that he might have out there. He's dropped short. Definitely dropped short. Okay, so we have Home Hill up to the plate. And in response, yes, Steve, that was those badges are definitely a collector's item. As Steve said, they collected the semi-final badge for 2019, the only year we had semi-finals, and I can't see it ever happening again in my lifetime in the game. It'll possibly never be created again. So those semi-final badges are definitely a collector's item. Kirsty, you're obviously on the way to cheer on South Townsville. Looking forward to seeing you here. Alligator Creek Brandon score had closed up. I'll just try and get it for you. Right, after 18 ends, the last score we had was Alligator Creek looked like they were in a fairly healthy position, was 11 to Brandon, 27 to Alligator Creek after 18 ends. So they possibly only got 2 ends to go now, maybe even 1. And from those that have been at Dunn Cups before, right from Wim Maloa, that is Kirsty Gregg we are talking about. And as I was about to say, that for those that have been at Dunn Cups before on the final day, emotions do run very, very high amongst spectators and players. And officials tend to be the ones that cop the brunt of it all. But we do take our Valium before we start of the morning so that we can hopefully remain as calm as possible. Muddy's just returning, but he's not going to put the headphones on yet because, as he whispered to me, it is all happening out there, and I suspect on more than one rink. It is. It's a very tight situation, especially in Section 1. Section 2 is getting the same way now. South Townsville, it's going to come down possibly between South Townsville and Bowen, if Bowen can win. At Section 1, as I said, there were the 4 powerhouse clubs all playing off, and they were playing amongst themselves, those 4 clubs. So their players and their clubs would see them as critical, well, they are critical, crucial games. Especially the game between Cutharinga and Thuringowa. If Cutharinga get over the line, it will depend purely by how much. Because this morning there was a 6-shot differential between the 2 teams. So for Thuringowa to go through, they have to, and if they lose, they can't afford to lose by any more than, I think, 5 or 6 shots.
Anthony, we got the shot. Have we got the shot? Oh, okay.
Yes, from where we're sitting, Air definitely has first and second.
Take it. Because I can't get in there.
Yeah, Maurice decided to take it without playing his last bowl. It's 2 shots. 2 shots to Air, so after 20 ends, Air have shot away to a 40-3 lead. No, it's not 30. Oh, you've already put them up, Robbie? You're too quick for me, mate. So it's 38 to Air and 3 to Home Hill. After 20 ends, last end coming up. And I see a few, just looking at the back, I see a couple of games have been completed out. No, maybe not. So this is unusual because this game started after the other games on the back green started, and they're going to be close to finishing pretty much right on time with them, or even perhaps a little bit ahead of them. No, they haven't wasted any time. There's been no mucking around backwards and forwards checking the heads or major discussions between anybody. Yep, that's right. Again, as Robbie said, if there's been a need to measure, the measures come out very quickly. We haven't seen players wandering around their head 5 times to determine whether they think they might have the shot or not. Nice start there to Sam. And Alex Bojack, if he runs this out, and he's just going to be a little short on it. When I say a little short, maybe 3 metres. It's very deceiving on the screen. Sam's about 1.5 metres behind the kitty. He'll start swinging in now. He needs to keep his momentum going. He's finished about the same distance in front as he is behind. But Sam's got 2 shots there at the moment. Alex Bojack's last bowl for the game. Okay, Alex crashed into his own bowl. I don't think he's pulled up with the shot though. Colin Essex with his first bowl. Good weight. That will be in the count, I suspect. It's definitely in the count. Mick McCloskey with Mick's first bowl. He's got a little bit of weight on this. Is he going to... sadly, he was into Sam's bowl and pushed Sam up, which definitely gave Air one shot, possibly two, maybe a very slim third. It's Colin's last bowl for the game. He's going to give Sam another little nudge up. So there is definitely 3 shots there with a possible fourth, but definitely 3. Okay. Now we have Mick with his last bowl for the game. Yep, a little bit of bad luck last time. Is he going to pick up something? No, he's run across and through, unfortunately. But well played, Mick.
Sorry, Ron.
The bearer of bad news.
No. The match chairman's hat had to come on, mate, because it's that close out the back. We're wondering, they were teams wondering and asking what happens if same match wins, same margin, what comes next in line. And
so did you tell them just play the game and we'll sort that out at the end?
They did play, and I can tell you that Bowen did not play his last bowl. They have scraped over by 1 shot, got a win.
Yep.
And South Townsville unfortunately have lost to Guru. So Bowen, that I'm aware of, I have not got the official cards, but I know that Guru definitely beat South Townsville by 2 or 3 shots, and Bowen did not play. Yes, they're all shaking Bowen's hand, so Bowen's definitely into the final.
So
I'm just the manager of South
Townsville. So the Alligator Creek game didn't go their way?
Guru 21, South Townsville 16. And now as soon as I get a card from Bowen, just to confirm, players are going up to all the Bowen players behind us now and shaking their hand.
I think we need to concentrate on this last couple of bowls here first, Muddy. We're at the...
Oh, sorry, at the pointy end here too?
Right at the pointy end. They're playing their last... The last 4 bowls will be coming down after this one. It's not a bad bowl there.
Mate, it's right in that difference. I thought it was the sun here on my screen, but that's...
That may be only 1 down to Air now.
Yep.
They're both on a slight angle. Okay, matey, while they're changing over, just you want to carry on for a sec?
As I said, everyone is... Here comes Crowe from Bowen now. Oh, no, he's just... The 2 seconds are... So it does look like...
We know one finalist.
Bowen is definitely into the final that I'm...
Great achievement.
Great achievement for them.
Yep.
So...
Very, very pleased for them. So they were the sentimental favourites all around the players this morning in that section. And that's not taking anything away from the other teams.
No, that's right, yep.
As is wont from Australian sports fanatics, they always love to see an underdog do well. And Bowen whilst they're a fair sort of team, they were always regarded as underdogs.
Yep. They finished 4th overall last year, Ron, remember? That's how we get our... They were 2nd in Division 2, which means they finished 4th overall.
Yep.
They were strong competitors last year. The 2 brothers that have joined and playing bowls down there.
Yes, they've made a difference to that club.
Huge difference. Now we've still got a couple of bowls here to go on the last end.
Air is holding 2 shots, I would
Air's
say.
holding 2.
Yep. Maurice, I don't think that had, no, that didn't have any effect. Maurice with his last bowl. Greg's asking, do you have a score for Alligator Creek and Brandon, please, Muddy?
Not yet,
Not
mate.
yet.
That is coming to us. You can imagine the unfortunately though, Alligator Creek will not be able to make the final because Bowen also have won.
Yes, they were depending on Bowen.
They needed
losing.
Bowen to lose and South Townsville to lose.
That they got,
South Townsville did lose.
but Bowen got over the line.
Bowen has got up by 3 shots. I haven't got their card, but Mitch now
Okay, so
they've pulled out 1.
I suspect it's only 2. Robbie, do you have a problem if we stay on air until we get the final results of the back there? Okay, no,
Yep.
Robbie's happy to
Okay, yep, I can.
leave us on air.
Yeah, by all means, mate. I've got some cards coming my way,
Yes,
so
definitely looks like 2. 2 shots,
Two
to,
shots to
air.
air.
So that game finishes up 40 to air, 3 to Home Hill after 21 ends. And both teams should be congratulated on some very good bowling this morning. Specifically, very proud of Home Hill. They've performed extremely well for complete newcomers. And I suspect they've possibly got 2 or 3 players in that team that are only new bowlers. And they've acquitted themselves extremely well. As I said earlier, they will take a lot away from this tournament and learn a lot from it and come back bigger and better and stronger next year.
how many times have we seen that, mate, with us taking players away for our district sides?
That's right.
And then they've come back and all of a sudden they're starting to win competitions at their club. They're
Yeah, they grow an extra leg.
Yep, they do.
Okay, we have there the air
Yep.
Home Hill scores. We got that.
So the final score next door between South Townsville and Garoo was South Townsville 16, Garoo 21. You're writing those down as I give them to you?
Yep.
Yep. So we know the final score here, it was Air 40, Home Hill 3.
Okay.
I can tell you Cutharinga, Tharingower, Cutharinga 25, Tharingower 19. So to win +6. So Cutharinga has done everything they need to. Now on our screen as we speak, Robbie has managed to move some screens.
The Jubilee game.
Jubilee game again.
Ooh,
Noola,
that's
that is
tight.
23-20 on 20.
Okay, so
Now,
Jubilee's
again-
23. Last end being played. Okay, so what was the actual shot differential between Cutharinga and Tharingower this morning?
It was an 8-shot margin, 79 to 87.
79 to 87. And Cutharinga got up
By 6, so you add 6 on the 79, becomes 85.
85.
You take 6 off 87.
It becomes 82. So Tharingower was out of the equation.
Yep. But Noola, if they somehow can find a 4 here on this end and win this game by 1 shot, they will be in the final, not Cutharinga.
Yes.
That's how tight and close these matches are. Hence, if Bowen had lost that last game and South Townsville had lost, it would have come to margin and Alligator Creek winning, and I haven't got their
Thomas's
card.
bowl going in here.
Yep, Thomas's, and he has...
Possibly drawn an extra shot. That looks like Tony
Oh.
Sierra's bowl.
Jeff Ryder has got 2 fingers down.
Yep. 2 down.
Okay, so I can tell you, Greg Duncan, Alligator Creek, 32. Brandon, 12. So that's a win plus 20 to Alligator Creek. Unfortunately, though, Bowen won. So your boys, mate, have done extremely well. Again, well, they're going to be 1 match behind Bowen. But again, for a small club down the road at Alligator Creek, those guys have walked away with their heads held high.
So
That's 2 shots
2
there
shots
to...
to Nuala, and I assume Benny... Ooh. Benny's 2 bowls are out there.
No, someone obviously is using also the same set of bowls.
Yes, because there's 3 of those.
There's 3 there. So someone's decided to also change their bowls this morning.
Which they're allowed to do.
Yeah, they can before the start of play. Wholly legal.
There's Benny's bowl coming in here. And he's gone through. So Thomas has only got to draw
a bowl to
and they go to another extra end. Or is there some way Thomas can manufacture
a 3.
some movement? Well, he's got 2 at the moment.
Well, that's what Jeff Ryder indicated. So
yeah, that's right. Well, you expect that to be the case. So 2 was no good to Thomas, really. He needs 4, doesn't he?
he needs... Well, if he gets
To
3,
win the game.
they play an extra end.
Yeah, but if he
if he only gets 2, he still loses by 1.
and I don't see any way he can pick up anything extra at the back behind him.
No, because that's
all
Jubilee.
behind.
He's got some...
He's got a pretty fair bowl here.
Short.
It's a short.
No, 3 shots.
3 shots. Wow. Extra end to determine Section 1 finalist. As we said, not over till the fat lady's singing, and she's not singing yet. But this is good for the promotion of the cup too, of course.
Yep.
Glorious day.
Extra end. Yep.
And Robbie's doing wonders for us again. He's got those cameras round so we can...
Unfortunately, we're not going
Can't
to
see
the other end.
Yep, no, it's not possible to see the other end. Oh, Robbie's trying to work miracles for us. And we have seen at some events down the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast where Robbie's had to perform miracles and is more than capable of doing so. Yeah, well, 1 camera is possibly going to be enough, Robbie. At least it'll give us an indication as to what's happening on the head, eh? Okay, they tossed for the extra end. Jubilee won the toss. They're throwing the kitty.
Unless Thomas gave the mat away.
Which he may have.
Just so he had last bowl.
Last bowl. Yep. Now, Benny, I'm not being critical, but you should stop doing that. That bowl, kitty had not come to a complete stop. The bunker has made a ruling. Start by Damien Johnson there. Andrew Cole has got to match that at the very least. Not a bad start from Andrew. Thomas said that Damien's holding shot there. Robbie's disappeared out the back, obviously trying to create some magic for us. Big bowl here from Damien. Nice bowl there.
Yep.
About a foot behind the kitty. It's putting the pressure back on Andrew Cole. Thomas is giving him some directions as to what he'd like him to do. Robbie's back. You're doing a great job, Robbie. Yes, this is Andrew Cole leading the lead for Nuala with his second bowl. Well, yeah, I think Benny was hoping it was going to be a little bit, although it's on the 6 foot mark. Yeah. We know who's going to be on the mat next, so to see the result of their efforts.
This will be Nathaniel Kusner stepping up to the mat.
Nathaniel will be on the mat.
So I would say Nathaniel is also using two of
similar bowls.
Yep.
Okay, sorry for the
we have to wait.
The pause. We're just waiting to see because Nathaniel's a very deliberate player on the mat.
Nathaniel's using his, so that means Jeff Ryder
is using the other.
And if that stays on, Ben's bending over to pick that up out of the ditch
and spinning it. So Ben wasn't overly happy about that going in the ditch, but playing a full length end. There's going to be some bowls going in the ditch.
So Jubilee holding one. Thomas telling him just to come down and draw and sit on that bowl.
And in the background, behind that fence, that is council land, which is leased to Jubilee Bowls Club. And they are using it as a camping area. They have permission to use it as a camping area this weekend. So we have Jubilee holding one shot. That bowl just came down then was Robert Jackson's bowl. Jubilee holding one shot with that front bowl of Damien Johnson's.
Ron, we've never had a finish this close to determine a sectional winner on an extra end.
Yeah, did we have the extra end when you beat Ingham to get into the final?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that an extra end?
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
Actually, we did, yes.
Yeah.
But we had we both had the same amount. Oh no, yeah, we were both undefeated and played each other last game.
Last game, that's right.
But
and Frank missed 2 running shots on the last end.
Yep. For us to play an extra end.
Yes, I still remember the quotation the next week from Ren when Ren and Frank were having a discussion.
Yes.
And
what would have you done?
What would you have done? And Ren's response was, I would not have missed.
Yeah. That's correct.
One of those quotes that will go down in folklore with Dunn Cups.
Yep. There goes the kitty.
There's the kitty across to Robert Jackson's bowl.
And that was Jacko himself doing that.
He did that with his own bowl. Right, so the suspense carries on.
No, mate. Look, it is what it is. Katharinga's Their fate was in their own hands.
They've done as much as they can do.
Now it's, yes, they're relying on a result, sorry, I should use the right word, on a result to go their way. So if Noola's good enough, mate, and they win this game, they deserve to be in the final.
Yes. Yeah. Muddy's got some spare batteries back there for the cattle prod.
Yep. Yes, everyone watching in anticipation here to see what happens.
So I don't know. Well, some of the players would have, Section 2 players would have gone inside, I suspect.
Yeah, to have lunch, and everyone sitting around here watching this game to see what happens and who's going to make it, who's not.
I think that was Jeff Ryder's bowl.
Just had a
run at it and shot through. Tony Sierra about to play his first bowl.
So this afternoon we will have Bowen versus
somebody,
either Cutharinga or Noola.
That's right.
So it could be one Townsville team against a
Herbert.
No, Bowen side.
Oh, Bowen. Yes, that's right. Bowen's definitely there.
We have the Herbert River, Noola.
Yeah, that's right.
Against Bowen.
Tony Sierra's bowl just ran through there. Whichever way, the exception of if Cutharinga gets through to the final, there's a potential that we could retain the Dunn Cup in Townsville. Otherwise, it is again going to go out of town.
Going to Bowen or Noola.
Yeah. And if it went to Noola, that would be an experience for you, Robbie. Jeff Ryder has...
Can we see where that kitty's gone, Robbie?
Punched that back there and...
Oh. So Cutharinga having a look. Obviously, he's wanting to know.
Okay, we're just trying to... The person with the green trousers, and it's not a Jubilee or Noola player. Could we... Is there any chance of asking him if we could move? This one here. That's Wixie, is it? Well, Wixie, can you go the other side of the rink? Okay, now we've got now we have a stubby cooler.
That's obviously where the kitty is.
Kitty is.
Now Jeff Ryder's decided to stand there. I'm told it's very tight for shot. They think the bowl of the multicoloured bowl of Nathaniel Kusner is shot.
Okay.
Kitty is in the ditch.
It is in the ditch.
Yes, kitty is in the ditch.
Okay, so the can is marking.
Obviously where the kitty is. Where there's, I think that's a rink marker. Jeff's dropped short. No, that was Benny. Jeff's already down this end. Michael Blake's decided to stick his
nose in.
Rear end in view. Oh, they're now being told, please move. We've got the camera on it. Oh no, that's just Jeff's beer.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe where his foot is down the other end there, that's the see the thing going over the.
It's got it over the bank.
right where someone's feet are.
Well,
And we can't ask them to move. They're not doing anything wrong. It's their rink.
that's
So,
the Rink.
yeah, there's the sinker.
Yeah.
So going
see
over
that?
next to that bowl, next to Nathaniel Cusner's, Robbie zoomed in on it.
Well,
So that's where the kiddie's sitting.
I'd
That's
be calling Andrew
Damien-
Cole's bowl.
No, that's
Damien
Damien Johnson's bowl.
Yeah.
The yellow, yes, which that's a Jubilee bowl anyway. So obviously there's a lot of
Jubilee could be
anticipation.
holding 3 shots there. That's right, they only want one.
Now that's not a
So
good
we're
thing to walk behind the head.
Behind the head, no.
No, he hasn't.
Lewis D.
That's a-
Franchisi, go Nula.
Lewis, that's one of Mark's triplets.
Yep.
Mark and Jocelyn having triplets. Played Lewis back in when he was a young fella. It's Muddy Lewis. Hope you're doing okay, mate. It's obviously very close for shot. They're all standing over looking at...
I wish these people would stop walking backwards and
Yes.
forwards.
Oh.
Another McNaid player.
Now South Townsville.
South Townsville, yep.
Hang on.
Hey guys, that camera is on that head.
Okay, so that was Benny's bowl, came through into the ditch with nothing. So Thomas can draw this, if he can draw the shot. Doesn't look good, no.
Body language is saying a lot. Okay, so they've called an umpire to measure the shot.
Okay. Okay, the
Okay,
umpire's
so-
been called to measure for the shot, which will determine the win.
Nathaniel
where
Cusner was pretty confident they have one shot.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Cusner
This
is
is
for Jubilee.
He's playing second for Jubilee.
So he was confident they have one, but
So now this,
yeah, the
Yep.
players should be away. They're all standing over,
Well,
everyone in anticipation.
I'm blaming the umpires there.
Gary.
Okay, Jubilee got one there, which puts Katharinga into the final
Against Bowen Bowls
against
Club
Bowen
this
Bowls
afternoon.
Club this afternoon. So Bowen have never won a final yet. So we may have. They've been bridesmaids a few times. I must admit. So we have a game on our hands this afternoon. It is now 12:10, so it'll be around about 1 o'clock,
o'clock, I'd say, yeah,
past
we've-
1, when we'll be back for the final. Before we sign off and take a well-earned lunch break, I'd like to again acknowledge and thank wholeheartedly our sponsors, North Queensland District Men's Bowls Association, Jubilee Bowls Club, Townsville City Council, Multicom Communications, JSOL Electrical and Instrumentation, Glen Carroll Painting, TK Power and Air, and Gallivanter Travel. Thank you very much for your support, and we look forward to speaking to you again this afternoon. We will be back on air in about about 3/4 of an hour or so for the start of the finals.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah,
it was
1 o'clock we will be
We'll
back,
be back,
irrespective of whether they're starting them, because we'll have a little bit of a work-up for the final. And obviously the players will be introduced, all that sort of stuff. So there's a little bit of work to do pre the final, and Robbie assures us we will be back on air at 1 o'clock. Thank you for sticking with us today, and we'll see you this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Right now, it's time to enjoy the little things.
Time to evaluate what really matters.
It's time for your next adventure.
With more than 300 days of sunshine and a daily rush hour of 20 minutes, or less, Townsville is the perfect place to live, work and play. From the reef and its tropical islands, to the lush rainforests and endless natural beauty only a stone's throw away, our city is all about easy living with big city benefits.
But we are more than just picturesque beaches and perfect weather. Townsville is Australia's largest garrison city, the events and cultural capital of Northern Australia, and home to a bustling global port. With world-class expertise in health, education and research, Townsville is vital in creating jobs, attracting investment and boosting the region's economy.
What you'll find on your journey within our mountains, our beaches and our community is that you're welcome here. But don't take our word for it. Come and experience it for yourself. This is Townsville.